welcome back to another episode of the Press Star Podcast. This is episode number 49 already. Of course, I'm your host, Vic, aka Mr. Never Chillin', and I am joined by none other than my co host, Lunatic Oblivion.
Hey guys, how you doing today? It's a wonderful Sunday out here. We got a co-op game going on today. We got the podcast. We're back in full swing.
Yes, sir, and we are actually joined by one of our returning special guests this week, JayDee.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be here. Let's talk about some games, man. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yes, sir, man. Roger, what did you think about our co op stream today with Tiny Tina's?
The game actually feels good. It doesn't feel like Dying Light 2, where, we wanted to get to the end. The end couldn't come quick enough. I feel as though with Tiny Tina, I actually enjoy every bit of gameplay. We're like, oh, it's 3 o'clock. And I was like, wait, you mean we're done? Oh, all right. Well, I guess we can stop. I'd have been fine. It's one of those games where I wouldn't mind just playing straight through, and it's super fun.
Right, yeah, I definitely agree. I've been really enjoying it. The storylines are goofy and funny, but the story all feels connected as opposed to Dying Light 2, and that was a big issue with me for Dying Light 2. But yeah, I definitely agree. It has a nice Borderlands touch, nice fantasy. It's really fun and leveling up. I mean, fuck, I felt like we power leveled today. We went up like 5 or 6 levels, so I did
Yeah,
definitely can't
no, it
complain.
was super fun.
JD, did you look at Tiny Tina's at all?
Yes. I always like Borderlands. Again, I don't really play. I mean, it's not really single player. It is co-op. So, I have touched it a little bit, but like the earlier ones,
Yeah.
I know who Tiny Tina is, and it looked hilarious. It definitely looked like a good game. Did you guys ever post that on YouTube? If you did, I might check your content out so I can kind of watch it. Tiny
Um,
Tina's.
I have not posted our replays of it, but we
Oh,
do.
okay, okay.
Yeah, we stream it every Sunday at 12 o'clock from 12 to 3.
Right, right.
But Roger, what else have you been playing this week or over the past 2 weeks since we've been gone?
Yeah, I actually just picked up Sword and Shield after seeing the new trailer for Scarlet and Violet. I've been playing that with my wife. That's been pretty fun. I've been playing Medieval Dynasty, which is a game on that I've been watching on Steam for quite a few years since it went into early access, then became a full game. It hit Game Pass, so I was like, yet again, Game Pass wins. It brings those games that I wanted to play for free. I'm already paying for it for other stuff, so it's just another game that I get to play.
Right, right. What about you, JD? What have you been playing over the past week or so?
For me, same old, some Overwatch, anything mostly competitive Overwatch. I'm getting back into Apex, just recently, due to our esports team shoot to win. This weekend we had a tournament for the Buccaneers, the NFL football team, the Buccaneers. And I participated in it because our team captain had to back out last second due to work. So
Mm.
back into Apex all of a sudden, just from a last second decision to get thrown into a tournament. So I'm playing a lot of Apex, a lot of Overwatch. I'm taking a step back from Call of Duty a little bit. Been playing a lot of multiverses.
Hmm.
Obviously now that alpha is done, but can't wait for next month to start playing that. So a lot of first person shooters right now, typical
Hmm.
competitive style gameplay for me.
Right, right. Yeah, for sure. I want to hop back in the. Like I told you before the stream, I've been trying to play Warzone, but I don't know any of the meta. They buff and nerf guns into the ground, and I'm like, why doesn't this gun kill anymore? Like it used to be so badass, and I'm like, what happened? So I have no idea. And there's so many new guns in that game. I'm just like, I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah, it's like a whole library of guns now, and like I would say, just looking at videos, I haven't touched Warzone in a minute,
Hmm.
but MP5, as we always know, is like
Yeah.
the ruler of Call of Duty. You can never go wrong with an MP5. But there's like three different MP5s in the game, so you're probably
Right.
like, which one do I choose?
Right.
It's always like the newer Call of Duties. Anything Cold War or Vanguard would probably be like your best bet.
That doesn't
MP40
make
is another
sense though.
good
Like
one.
you would think modern technology would outperform a gun from World War II or
Right,
whatever.
right.
Doesn't make
Not in
sense.
Call of Duty. Not in Call of Duty.
But me personally, I've been playing. I actually in the midst of replaying Assassin's Creed One. I'm trying to play through all of the series because when I started playing Assassin's Creed, it didn't start until like Black Flag. So I have a lot of Assassin's Creed to catch up on, and obviously they remastered a bunch of them. So I'm really excited to play through that series. But I haven't really been playing nothing too much, not at all. But I definitely want to dive back into it. But speaking about games that are being played or can be played, we got our game releases for the week. Actually, most of these came out before last week. We have SnowRunner came to the PS5, Xbox Series X and S on May 31st. Lake came to Google Stadia on June 1st. Silt is came to the PS5 and 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch and PC on June 1st. Card Shark came to the Switch and PC on June 2nd. Diablo Immortal came to iOS and Android on June 2nd. Gigapocalypse came to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on the 2nd. Soldiers came to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on the 2nd. Unexplored 2, The Wayfarer's Legacy, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, and PC on June 2nd. But games that are coming up now: Spellforce 3 Reforced, coming to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Series S and X on June 7th. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords is coming to the Switch on June 8th. Pro Cycling Manager 2022 on PC on the 9th. Tour de France 2022 on all consoles on June 9th in the PC. Demon Slayer, don't know how to say the rest of that, coming to the Switch on June 10th. And big two here, Mario Strikers Battle League coming to the Switch on June 10th, along with The Quarry on most consoles and the PC. So, do any of these games stick out to you guys you want to check out?
Yeah, actually, I'm really excited for Mario Strikers because I have not been disappointed in the past year or two from any of the Mario games. You know, Mario Party, the new one that launched, it was good, better
Mm-hmm.
than the original Switch Mario Party. We've got,
The
we
golf
had
one.
Mario Aces, that was good. The tennis was super well played in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They're just tons of good Mario games lately, and I haven't been disappointed. So I'm hoping this is going to be a good game.
Right. What about you, JD?
I agree. I don't play too many Switch games at all, but for some reason Mario Strikers seems really cool to me. Like they were
Mm-hmm.
giving out, or not giving out, but they had like a demo that you can play. I wanted to go try it. I never got the chance to, but it looked really cool. It kind of drew me in. And also the Corey. I've been kind of looking at that. Obviously I play a lot of 2K basketball, but to see 2K kind of announce a different type of game with the same kind of graphics, because I always thought 2K graphics were pretty good. And it looks like pretty creepy. I've been checking out some of the gameplay trailers and whatnot. I'm pretty excited for that too. I kind of want to check that game out too and see what it's about.
Right. And we got Blackjack here chiming in. The new Mario Party Superstars is not as fun as the Super Mario Party on Switch. I got rivaling to hear you on this, Roger. What's your thoughts?
That's hey, honestly, it's to each your own. I liked the new Mario Party just because there's more games on it, honestly. The
Mm-hmm.
the content felt more flushed out. Now, I did like that there was other modes on Super Mario Party. We did have things like the river event where you and your friends could go down and play just co-op mini game after co-op mini game. It felt kind of like Burnout where you're going down a road and you either go left or right at the end of the road. You're avoiding all the obstacles. It kind of played like
Mm-hmm.
that, where you start at one spot, and if you go right, the game gets more difficult. If you go get left, the game stays at the same difficulty, and you
Mm-hmm.
can kind of judge your difficulty as you play through the game. And I really liked that you could play some of these other game modes, but like if I was playing strictly Mario Party, I did enjoy the maps and also some of the mini games and gameplay mechanics of Superstars.
Right. Right.
Honestly, it's really the player involved what they liked, because the maps on Super Mario Party were a lot more simple, easy to play.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them were a little gimmicky where they made the game kind of unfun. So
Yeah. But some of the games that I'm looking forward to is the Quarry. I think this might be our next co-op game that we might play on stream, potentially. But other one that looks interesting is Silt. It's like an underwater like limbo style game, like it's really dark, really creepy, and kind of like an exploration game. So it looks really interesting for sure. So I might want to check that out. But I'm not really excited for like any of the like Tour de France. Like I can't tell
Hey,
you
come
if
on.
I've ever been excited for a bicycle game. Like
why would I want to simulate riding a bicycle? I
I,
own one and I barely use it.
right, right. But yeah, Mario Strikers Battle League looks interesting. I never played any of the Mario Striker games in the past, so this might be my time to hop on board and enjoy a nice Mario soccer game. Honestly, but yeah, man. Let's move into our industry news. Roger, what's going on in the industry?
In the industry right now, we got Activision Blizzard leading the charge here. So Raven Software did unionize. They 19-3. The union is created. Phil Spencer also said that he will support this union once they finalize the purchase of Activision Blizzard. So that's big. We're getting unionization in the gaming industry. Are game developers going to get better treatment? And could this lead to Microsoft unionizing? Who knows? But for now, Raven Software is officially a union. We've got also some more bad news really out of Activision Blizzard that they're kind of abusing the female workers more, including abuses towards women who have had children. Developers are demanding that they have breastfeeding protections and other reforms in the office place that really you feel like these should be things that exist. Like these developers, they work over 40-hour weeks. Developers are always in crunch time. So now they're losing these they don't have protections for things that they just have to do as mothers, as women. They have things that men don't have to do, but they don't have protections. So why is that not a thing?
Yeah, I
Um,
don't get it. What's your thoughts on this, JD?
I mean, I agree 100%. I think you said it best. Really, really good. Um, Females do deserve these things already in place. I'm kind of surprised it wasn't already there. The fact that we even have to add on or even make that a thing is kind of crazy to me because, again, it should be fair for everybody. And male or female, it really doesn't matter. And I think Roger hit it right on the head. He took everything right out of my mouth that I would have said for sure. 100%.
Yeah, I'm really excited though to see that this union went through, especially after Activision Blizzard was trying to send out letters to their shareholders with like, "Hey, vote against it, don't do this, we don't like it," and the shareholders were like, "Yeah, fuck you, and we're gonna vote this in 19-3."
well, and that's the thing. The shareholders, they're all for the acquisition now too. They're like, we're done with the current status quo. It's over. Let's get through this acquisition. Let's sell our shares. We're tired. This stock is not worth it.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Xbox to take over because they do. I can't say they don't do no wrong, but we haven't really seen any negative things yet from Xbox, and everything they've been doing has been for consumers. They've been for the developers. They've been
Yeah.
trying to take care of everyone and make sure they do the right thing, and I love that about them.
I agree. They actually listen. They listen to like the consumer, and you can tell because a lot of things have changed. So
Yeah,
definitely
that's an
excited to see that
understatement.
too.
Especially when they try to raise the prices of Xbox Gold, and the community was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," and they were like, "Oh, never
Uh-uh.
mind, my bad,
Yeah,
guys."
we're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
uh,
So next up, let's talk about brick and mortar game sales. So GameStop actually lost $160 million in the past quarter. The last quarter they have tanked. So what does the brain trust at GameStop decide? Let's look at crypto and NFTs. Let's make money off of crypto and NFTs. You're hemorrhaging money, so let's go into cryptos and NFT, things that also have just taken a nosedive.
yeah, I don't understand this. Like, whoever's in charge of GameStop at this point just needs to be fired too. Maybe Microsoft should buy out GameStop while they're at it.
No, no, no,
No, no,
no, no.
I know. No, but I'm just saying, like, whatever they're doing there just doesn't make sense, and it's just like cryptos just took a massive hit. Like, I remember when like Bitcoin was like over 50, 60,000 K, and now it's like not even over 30. Like, I don't get it. And NFTs are like one of those hit or miss. Like, to me, NFTs is just art. Anybody can make the price go up or down at any given moment. So you could take a major hit at any given moment. You could win out really quick. So I just don't get it. What's your thoughts, JD?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you guys. Crypto and NFTs, I never really got it either. I was on crypto for like a little bit because I saw the bubble. At the end of the day, as an investor, I do try. I'm a long-term investor, so crypto was just booming, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try some short-term stuff. Excuse me. And before the bubble bursted, I made my money and got out, but. I think it's very bad idea because like NFTs and crypto again is getting a bad rep now, and especially NFTs. Like, there's so many different like quote unquote rip-offs, and there's so
Hmm.
many different jokes about like having the crazy looking ape and whatnot. Like, it's not even cool to have it. Like, people, it's starting to lose a market. It has a very
Hmm.
small following right now, and it's trying to expand, but it seems like it's just getting smaller and more niche. So
Hmm.
I don't see why, as a big business, you would want to step into such a smaller market because it just doesn't seem to be booming as we thought it might have because of so many different knockoffs and rip-offs and people losing money and not gaining money off of things. I think
Right.
NFTs are really good when it's attached to something physical. That way you have something online to represent it and something physical. Then to me it adds a little bit more value and it's a little bit more cool. But when it's just digital, I mean, again, we make jokes about taking screenshots of NFTs and using them. Then how does it really have value?
Right.
So
There's
I
there's
think
nothing backing
GameStop
it,
getting in,
honestly.
it's not really good.
I
Yeah.
mean, because look, I know you were into the NBA Top Shot stuff, those NFT virtual highlights. So you own the right to that highlight. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
made the argument. I was like, bro, I can go get that same highlight from YouTube and record it on my phone, and I have the same exact thing as yours. What makes it any different? And I just don't get it. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I think it's just going to be one of those things that comes and goes. And but the only other thing that could keep it up is like if it finds a place in the whole metaverse thing, like that would be the only thing, because then that would be your digital physical version of something in the metaverse. I don't know.
So I'm saying like you can get a little bit of both. So like for example, I collect pops. It'd be pretty cool to have an NFT pop that matched my physical pop. I think that'd be pretty cool to have like a collection online, a collection in real life. Maybe
hmm
like the online have like you can add different things to it, make it look cool. Maybe
Well,
this one glows in the dark and it shows online where you can see other people's collections, and it'd be kind of cool to have that. But just as
yeah,
alone, it just doesn't
that's
make sense to me.
like the NFT scene. Like at the end of the day, the idea is how many Mona Lisas are there out there?
Mm-hmm.
There's one.
Right.
The idea is you want to, like, yeah, I can take a picture of the Mona Lisa, but do I really own the Mona Lisa? The problem at hand is we're talking about digital media. You can easily just copy paste and it's the same exact thing. It doesn't matter. I've taken a literal capture of something that is the original. So now I've made something that was scarce unscarce. It says, because digitally we can't look at supply, buying and selling, economics at all. We can't look at the microeconomics of it because it's not scarce. There is zero scarcity because it has an infinite supply technically. So it is a weird market to really jump into. Like I get what they're going for, unless you can make artificial scarcity like the one game that came out a while ago. I think it was on E3 last year. They started hosting it. It was that little they were like almost like Funko Pop looking dudes, and you could play like different games and you could collect customizations, and only you would have one of say 300. It's like opening a pack of magic cards. You have one of 300 or one of
hmm
1000 that was printed, that kind of thing. Yeah, but then you have to hope that that market doesn't crash, that market doesn't disappear, because once they're gone, your digital your digital item is gone. It's the same thing we argue when we talk about buying a game digitally. Once the store is gone, where do you get your game?
Yeah, you no longer can play it. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
That's why I like the whole idea with Xbox's new patent is like you can buy a physical copy of the game, but you can play it digitally
yeah,
or whatever. So
exactly.
you can still have that physical game if you want to play it when that store goes offline.
It's like buying a key code. The disc will run with the key code. So when the store disappears, you can still play it. Or you can use that key code to get the digital copy of the game and you just put the disc into your collection for 100 years and there it's still there.
Right, and then you can
But
sell it
I
for a
think we
thousand
should move
dollars.
on here though. Um, let's move on to another issue we got with brick and mortar, and that is the fact that physical items are still in short supply, and the Steam dock is being delayed due to COVID related shortages. But on more good news here, the Steam Deck has now hit 3,000 verified games that will run on it from the Steam marketplace. So if you're looking for a digital, like an on the go PC, a better than a laptop gaming system, it might be it. The Steam Deck is looking pretty good.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The Steam Deck looks like it's been doing really phenomenal, and the fact that it has over 3,000 games now at this point, there's obviously games to play, and it looks like it runs really well. No really hiccups, no like really stick drift like the Nintendo Switch. So it's definitely doing really well. There's plenty like the whole dock shortage. Like okay, that's cool, but like you can go get a dock from Amazon right now, like third party docks. So that's not really an issue per se. But if you want the official dock, you're just gonna have to wait to see whenever that comes out.
Exactly. Next up, we've got news from Sega. Sega is actually releasing a new console. It is like our throwback
Yeah.
with the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo that was re-released. This is a $75 console. It releases October 27th in Japan. It is a 50 game console. It will include 50 games from Sega's collection.
Yeah, this looks pretty cool. This is just a follow up to their when they first released the Mega Drive Mini One, and then this is just the second one. So it's pretty cool to see they're just keep going with the whole nostalgia. Like nostalgia's here. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. So I actually remember playing that the original Mega Drive 2 back in the day. That's when we were playing like Sonic and stuff. Or I can even think I think this was the console we were playing like Lion King on when that came out. So it'd be pretty cool to see what kind of games that they release with this because I don't know if they announced all 50 games. I do see a little bit of them that they announced for. But JD, I know you're a collector. Would this be something that you buy and add to your collection?
Yeah, I mean, yeah and no, you know what I'm saying? I'm a big fan of the originals, that's what I love to like have is like the originals. But I
Hmm.
mean, this is pretty cool, I didn't even hear about this or have this come out. I know I really wanted the Nintendo one when that one dropped. That
Hmm.
was like a must have for me and I just couldn't get one. But I might, grab this. This is pretty cool. I didn't even know it's coming out, so news to me, amazing.
Yeah, I just want to know when they're going to announce it for release in North America because they only announced
Right.
the release date for Japan. So I just want
Japan,
to see
right.
when it officially comes to us. But yeah, and $75, that's not bad.
It's not bad. Hmm.
What's your thoughts on it,
Next up,
Roger?
we've got
You going to buy it?
with the Sega console, probably not. I had the original, played it a bunch. Probably don't really want to go back to it, but
Yeah.
that's just me.
Fair enough. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Next up here, we've got a collaboration. So Razer, the Razer peripheral line, and Xbox is teaming up to make a new controller. It is the Falcon and Winter Soldier controller and charging stand. This is based off of the TV show, The Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I think it looks really cool. They keep coming out with these new collaborations, whether it's Star Wars or Marvel and whatnot. So this looks really cool, but I think it's like 150 or $170 for this controller. But it comes with like a charging stand with it. But I don't think it's
Mhm.
worth that kind of money. Not for a basic controller. It's not like an Elite One, Elite Two controller.
That's true.
So
That's
that's the only thing for me. It's just a regular controller with a skin
It
on
is
it,
pretty
basically.
dope, man. I'm checking it out. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, for 180. I'm looking at it. 179.99.
Yeah,
That's a lot of money, but it's a good looking controller
yeah. It
with
looks
the
really
stand.
good.
It's a very good looking controller.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
definitely not worth
if you're on
180.
that
Not for me.
website now, you got to check on the other controllers they got on there too. Those are dope.
I'm okay, man. I'm trying to save money. I don't want to spend. All right.
Right, right. But moving on here to our gaming news of the week, we actually got a lot to cover here, so we're gonna try and run through some of this here and there. But first off, the Marvel MMO that was originally announced has been canceled. It was a game that was in production from Daybreak Games. I'm not exactly sure what happened in regards to it, but it does suck to see that a Marvel project was canceled because they've been doing fairly well recently, especially with Guardians of the Galaxy and whatnot. But we'll see how that goes. But another unfortunate news this week: Battlefield 2042 is stopping the development of their Hazard Zone mode already. It's only been out for what 6, 7 months, I think, maybe 8, and season one is about to come out, and they already are stopping development on one of their modes. And I was just like, that's weird. Right.
Well, we already talked about this though. Battlefield 2042 said they're dropping the game already to start working on the next iteration. They're done. They went, "Oh, we fucked up, so we're just gonna scrap it and start over." We talked
Right.
about this, and
Yeah.
it's silly.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
interested to see what they announce for season one. I know they're supposed to be bringing back like old maps from like Battlefield 3 and stuff, and I was just like, okay, cool,
Wait,
but your
so
game's
season one
still.
hasn't even come out yet? I haven't even tried Battlefield. I heard so many bad things. I was kind of turned off, but
So
season
were
one
we?
hasn't come out yet.
Nope. And Roger
Wow.
bought it, and he returned it within the first week, got his money
Oh, I
back.
don't blame
I
you.
was
I
like,
don't blame
dude, that's $100 that I can't afford to just leave in a
you.
game
Leave.
that is
Yeah.
garbage. When you can fly a
Hovercraft,
hovercraft through the sky like a
like a
freaking
plane.
jet, the game is busted. People are hacking. The game is. It makes Call of Duty look fair some days.
I was gonna say that. It makes it look really good.
But some more unfortunate news, but in the same sense, it's good. The game called Replaced. It was a 2.5D game that was supposed to be coming out for Xbox this year. Has been delayed to 2023 due to the Ukraine and versus Russia altercation war, whatever you want to call it.
uh,
It's a war.
Yeah, they had to
or yeah.
relocate out of out of the country, obviously, and resume production or development. So we'll see how that plays out. Roger, I know this game might pique your interest because you're into the 4K strategy games. Dunespice Wars actually already announced their roadmap, and the game's not
Yeah.
even out yet. And
Yeah, it looks really good. We're gonna be getting a multiplayer, which didn't drop with the original game, as well as a new playable faction. We're gonna get some DLC. It's really just the phases of the game development. The roadmap is counting these core features of the game as essentially DLC to an early access. We're gonna be getting Air and Sand, which is the first one, and the second one will be Heroes of Dune. We will have more to be announced coming up, maybe here at the showcase.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, definitely one of them. Whether it's Summer Games Fest, the PC gaming show, or even the Future Game Show by Games Radar. So there's a bunch of shows coming up that we could see it for sure. I don't know if I'd check it out. I mean, I really enjoyed Dune the movie that just came out, but it's interesting to see
You
like
have
their
to like
concept.
4X. That's the thing.
I don't think I've ever
It's
played a
just
4X game. I think that's what it is.
it's like a Civ game, and like it's something. If you like Risk, you might like it. It's
Hmm.
that kind of concept. It's just a little more in depth. You're capturing land, stuff like that.
Hmm.
But the game itself is pretty lackluster with what it offers right now. There's just not a lot of content in it.
Hmm.
So you have to be okay with it being, less than optimal.
Right, right. JD, did you play any like strategy games or 4X style games, or does this pique interest?
Yeah, not really. I'm not a big fan. I played a little bit of. It's kind of like Halo Wars. I'm assuming, kind of
Mm.
like that, around that, or
Well, no, Halo
Civilization.
Wars would be real time.
Okay,
Civilization, yeah.
Civilization. Yeah,
Civilization's a
Yeah.
4X.
yeah. So I enjoyed Civilization. Well, when I was a little bit younger, I remember playing a really dope version of it. It was on a 360.
Mhm.
But like outside of like me playing that, not really. But I
Hmm.
mean, it does sound like pretty cool. To see like a game like Doom kind of step out and do something different. That's different for like that type of genre that they're typically in. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Right. I actually would love to see like a Dune like third person story driven action adventure game. I think that like it has the
So
setting, has the
I'm
lore
not
to it.
sure I'm hearing it right. Is it Doom or Dune?
Dune.
Dune, like the,
Okay.
the the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dune.
Copy. Copy. I
DUNE.
thought you were saying Doom. Okay. Okay. Got you.
No.
Got you.
It's
Doom.
the
Okay.
it's
Good.
the franchise that Star Wars is actually based off of originally
I got
a
you.
long
I
time
got you.
ago.
Now
Yes.
I okay. Copy. Copy. It sounds pretty cool then. Yeah. That's a pretty
Mhm.
cool kind of game then. Yeah. Okay.
But moving on to another like space kind of game, Eve Online. We actually touched on them a couple weeks ago when they added the support for Excel spreadsheets incorporated into the game. But now the game is now playable via the browser. That's awesome, man. Like this game has been going on for like ever, and they keep adding new ways to play it or how to play it, and just the support for this game is amazing. This is really how you support an online game for many years to come. So that was pretty cool to see. Um,
Yeah.
Sims 4 announces that they're adding custom pronouns. I mean, that's great, especially because obviously June is the Pride Month, so it's pretty cool to see them add some features. And basically, everybody and their mom plays Sims 4. It's a super easy
Mhm.
game, super casual game, and you can just have fun. And now you can literally be who you want to be in that game. And I think that's pretty awesome to add a feature like that.
Definitely.
Especially since Sims 4 hasn't really had any development in years. The fact that they're still adding content to it like that is pretty nifty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. I agree. That's pretty cool.
Moving on, we got Sonic Frontiers. We actually got their first glimpse of gameplay. I know JD, you shared it on Facebook as well, and we had a little talk about it. Um, I wasn't too impressed, and I'm almost actually with the community here where Roger added this to the itinerary late. I actually didn't know that they are already asking for delays because of the gameplay
Just like the
trailer.
movie.
Yeah, it's like we don't like what's going on here. This doesn't really feel like Sonic, and I'm not gonna lie, the combat, I was like, this looks clunky. This looks like they're bullet sponges, but there's no bullets, and I was just like, this. I don't want to fight every enemy like it's a boss. That's what it looked like. What's your thoughts on it, JD?
So for me, I didn't dissect it. You know what I'm saying? I saw it really quick, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like I thought it looked good. Like to
Yeah,
me, just
visually
like
it looked
from
good.
like
Yeah.
a quick glimpse, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, and I was more excited to see that they're actually stepping out of like the normal realm because like I'm not a big Sonic fan, anymore. Just because I feel like a lot of their games just doesn't it just never lives up to the hype for me.
Hmm.
Just never really reaches it. And this is like the first time I've been excited ever since like the Dreamcast. I was excited for like Sonic Adventures, and like for the first time ever, I looked at this and was like, "Oh, an open world for
Hmm.
Sonic! Like this is a
Yeah.
little different from what they have been doing." So I was really more excited to see them kind of step out of like the realm a little bit and step into like an open world with Sonic and see and try to experiment a little bit.
And this isn't the first time we've had a Sonic game where you're allowed to free
Free
roam
roam,
either.
right?
This is not the first time we've had it. We had it on the Sega Genesis, I believe it was. We've had it on the
Dreamcast.
the Uh, GameCube had it,
Mm-hmm.
Dreamcast had it, and then Sonic kind of adapted that formula where we went back to the side scroller, but we did it in forward and backwards, where we had you played as Shadow. That
Hmm.
was a very linear path game, but we had free roam Sonic, and it always played well. Like enemies died in a hit because Sonic would ball up, hit them, and move on. Well, this one didn't feel that same way, and it kind of feels like we're regressing in gameplay to make more visually appealing.
Makes sense.
It
I agree
feels
with
kind
that.
of like Mario Odyssey, but with worse combat.
Yeah, I would say it's a combination between like Mario Odyssey and like Breath of the Wild. Like the world looks like more of like a Breath of the Wild
Mhm.
kind of game, maybe a little bit more like less cartoonish, but even though it is still a cartoon looking game, um, I'm just eager to see what happens. Maybe they do delay this game, even though I don't think they have a release window for this. So I think it's supposed to be next year, but maybe they push it out to like late next year, like holiday. So we'll see how that
Yeah.
goes. Next up here we got Fortnite Chapter 3 Season 2, the Collision event. Basically ended the season like Fortnite always does, and they had a big event and whatnot, and then it leads into the new map, I guess, the new battle pass, and Darth Vader's gonna be in it. There's like a new like roller coaster track around the map that you ride in those like little balls from like the old OG Fortnite part of the game. So it looks cool. I just don't know. Like Fortnite just it brought me back when they added like that no build mode, but I couldn't stay attached to it like I did when Fortnite first dropped. That's the issue. What's your thoughts on this, JD? I know you're a big FPS player, and Fortnite you hop
Yeah.
back on it.
Oh, that's why I completely agree with you. Like I was definitely really back, and I never really been to Fortnite anyway. But with the no build mode, I was sold. Like you remember, I was playing for like 2 3 weeks. I got
Hmm.
the battle pass. I'm like, man, I'm grinding, and then kind of like with you, it just hit like a wall. I'm just like, it's just Fortnite again, you
Yeah,
know.
it's
But
just Fortnite.
I would I would dive back into it like every season and kind of see what the new season
Hmm.
offers, but I'm not sure if I'll ever dive into it like some of these hardcore players have. It's just kind of fun when the new season drops, you get some characters, but it's just not for me. But it keeps coming out with good content. I can't knock them at all. They know what they're doing over there in Epic and
They
Fortnite
know how
land.
to keep the kids entertained, and it's a
Exactly.
sweaty kid game.
I mean,
Hmm.
it's like the biggest crossover in gaming history. Like, there's anything, like, not even gaming, like, media history. Like,
Everywhere.
there's so much different characters and stuff in that game now. It's like, it's unbelievable. Like,
I
who would
agree.
have thought that originally back in the day when we had the original John Wick skin that looked nothing like John Wick, and then they eventually came out with a John Wick skin. We were like,
John Wick skin.
wait a
Yep.
minute, like
Are you
this is crazy.
serious? Like how?
Then here we are. Now we're getting Darth Vader. We already had Master Chief. We have Kratos. I mean,
I mean,
Batman,
You have
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
Naruto,
You had
Naruto.
Jordan. I mean,
Rick and Morty.
Yeah, Jordan's
Gucci.
in
Like you have
the
anything. Like
yeah the
literally
clothing
anything you
line.
could think of. Yeah, like
Right.
I don't understand. Like Versace. Like what? I don't. You got
uh,
Jordans, and I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
oh man, that's great though. Fortnite's going to be around for a while, and I'm excited to see what they can bring to it for sure. But another game that's been around for a while now at this point, Destiny 2 announced their new duality dungeon. I've never played any of their dungeons, so I don't really know. They said that this is really challenging and stuff per usual. It looks pretty cool. It's already released. Roger, I know we talked about getting back into Destiny at some point. Would this be the time to hop back in with this new content drop?
Honestly, there's so much more to even like it doesn't matter what content drops. We just gotta play at this point because there's so much stuff we haven't done
Right.
before this to even get here.
Right. I feel like I would have to start over because I already played and beat the game, but that was what 6, 7 years ago, whenever it first came out. Like I
Yeah,
don't
you've
know.
got
Everything's changed. I have no idea how
so
to
much
play it no more.
content.
Jay, did you play much of Destiny 2's multiplayer at all?
I tried it out. I played Destiny 1 a lot actually.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my brother, Dirty Dan, or Danny, we played that a lot. But we tried Destiny's 2 and Destiny 2, and it just didn't feel the same for me. It wasn't as enjoyable for me as Destiny 1.
Yeah,
So I
it
definitely
definitely had a
like Destiny.
huge change.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it seems to be very popular. So it seems like some of the changes might have been good, but for me, it just didn't feel the same. So I didn't play a lot of Destiny 2, but I did try it out a little bit. Pretty cool.
Right. I think Destiny 2 and like the Division series, my problem was I didn't have enough people to play that
Mm,
consistently. Like if I
hmm
really like I wanted to invest time into both of those games, but I didn't have anyone else that wanted to invest the same amount of time into those games with me. So I was just like, I don't want to play with randos. Don't want to play by myself. So guess what? Not playing these games.
And
Sucks to
yeah,
suck. There's.
Division. The Division was one of those games that I agree with you. It's kind of like Destiny for me. I loved it at one point, and then like Division 1 was really good. Then Division 2 came out, and I was like, I don't really know, and it kind of fell apart for me. Same thing with Destiny.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Some big news this week. Dragon Age officially announced the title of their next game, and it's called Dragon Age Dreadwolf. Obviously, there's some lore behind this. I don't really know much about Dragon Age games, never played one, but I might hop into Dragon Age for the first time with this one. Roger, have you played Dragon Age before? I think you have, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I played a ton of Dragon Age.
So does
It's one of those. It's one of those GameFly games for me. Like it was a blur. I played so many games on Xbox 360 with GameFly, and Dragon Age was one of them.
it's like
Dude,
play
I
beat.
played so much stuff.
I know a couple of our community members have played Dragon Age, and he just recently played one of them on stream as well. Does Dreadwolf have like any significance to like the story or anything that you know of, Roger?
Say that again?
Dreadwolf, does that
I
have
don't
a meaning?
remember Dreadwolf.
Okay,
No.
gotcha. Not a problem. Moving on, we got Jurassic World Evolution 2. They did announce a new expansion. It's basically tying it into the new movie that comes out in 5 days, which I'm super pumped to go see. Already bought tickets to IMAX to go see it. So that'd be pretty cool to see what they add in this expansion, like all of it. They're adding like a new and immersive campaign, so that'd be
Hmm.
pretty cool. I've tried playing Evolution before, and it's one of those very, very time-consuming games, like back in the day, like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but you're
Yes,
just building
yes.
Jurassic World. That's all it
Hmm.
is.
I actually played this. Jurassic World Evolution 2 is actually pretty good. It's interestingly enough, a really cool twist on the park simulator kind of game.
Hmm.
It feels like one of your dinosaur parks or one of your animal zoo parks or
Right.
things like that. It actually feels really good, but it has this whole visceral feeling where you got to keep your stuff contained or they'll get out and actually eat your guests in front of you. Like I watched a tyrannosaurus, not a tyrannosaurus, but one of my large predators break through the gate, lift up and throw a person into the air and just eat them, and I was like, well,
Oops.
that's cool.
Hey,
And
you
then
sound
my
like my kind
park's
of
like,
game. I might have to
and
get
the
this.
lawyers came in, they were like, you're going bankrupt. And I was like, thanks, have a good one, bud.
And this is on Game
Oh
Pass
yeah.
too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So you could definitely check it
Okay.
out at any time if
It,
you have
it's
Game Pass.
so good, and it has both a story and a mode where you can play the parks from the movies, and you
Okay.
can
Oh, okay.
you can actually try to fix the issues before they happen. And like you get to, spoiler alert, in the original Jurassic Park, somebody let the dinosaurs out and it destroyed the park. Well, you actually go through that and you actually fix the park while things are coming out. You know, you build up the park and then you play through the movie piece where the dinosaurs get out, but you catch them and you win instead of actually losing the park. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
that is cool.
then
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely
you
added a
play
lot.
through every movie.
Yeah, they added a lot compared to the first game. It sounds like so. You just kind of
Yeah.
made me excited to go check it out. I was just like, not excited. First one was meh, so I'm not going to check out this one. So, but you definitely hyped this up. Another game, man, that keeps hyping people up, and I just don't get it. Like, this is like the greatest redemption arc in video game history. Like, one of them at least is No Man's Sky. It is coming to Switch soon. They're working on, they're finishing up the last touches on the Switch version, and that's phenomenal to see this type of game being able to run on the Switch. I'm guarantee it's going to be like I think it's Dying Light 2, where it's like it's a cloud version of the game. It's not going to be
Hmm.
an actual physical copy of it. But there's a new update, Leviathan update. It is already out now, so go check it out. It includes space whales. There's a new expedition, a whale stalker cloak. There's a community goal, a new narrative, roguelike mechanic, organic frigate reward, and temporal starship trail. They just keep adding to this game, and like all this stuff I wish this was at launch when I bought the game because I tried
Hmm.
to play and I was like, man, this is garbage, and I never got back into it, never.
Hmm.
And I have two copies of it. I have it on Xbox and on PlayStation, and I still don't want to play it. Like I just can't. Is this a game that you guys would ever want to check out again after all these updates?
I got too much. I got too much on the plate already. It's one of those games where, like, I'm not looking for a Minecraft sync. I ain't in high school or early college anymore. I don't really want to play these games.
No, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I definitely agree with that. I was never interested to begin with. I always thought it sounded pretty cool, but I didn't want to check it out. But I wound up checking it out recently, maybe like a couple months ago,
Hmm.
and I had no idea what the game was like, so I didn't even know it was like Minecraft where you got to kind of do these things. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
walking around playing this. I'm like, oh my god, it's pretty cool. But now I realized a lot of crafting, a lot of time, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
taking things apart. I'm like, okay, this is not for me. But just kind of exploring, even like that 30 minutes to an hour. I'm like, oh, this is pretty like immersive. Like they kind of added a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I remember at launch it was supposed to be the biggest thing ever, and it wasn't. So to see it kind of
Well, you couldn't even
grow.
see people. They were like, it's supposed to be you crossing
Yes,
through the galaxy.
yes.
And, yeah, the galaxy's huge and there's thousands and thousands and millions of planets. But at the end of the day, you still wanted to be able to play with your friends.
That's right. That's right. So to see them like just add on all this content, like you said, keep flourishing somehow. I mean, it's amazing to see. Kind of, it really is.
I wouldn't be surprised if this becomes like GTA 5, where it gets re-released on every console, every generation going forward.
Yeah, makes sense.
But moving on to another game that's getting a big update here, we got Hitman 3 Update 1.10. New contracts, reactivated elusive targets, featured contracts, new cosmetics, new gun, and there was a Berlin egg hunt on May 24th that we missed out on. It's pretty cool to see that this game is still getting support. I think it's been out for, I think, 2 years now. It was a really great game when it did launch. I never checked it out. Never played any Hitman games, but it's
Wow.
awesome to see games continue to get support the way they do. And it's just, I think we're in that time where we're more in that's live service game where they got to keep adding content. Like obviously, if a game's successful, you still want players to stay around. You gotta have to release content, and that's what they're doing here.
Yeah. I love Hitman. I've beat every single one. Like I've played through all of them. Ironically, I haven't beat number three. It just became free on Game Pass not too long ago, maybe
Hmm.
like last year around that time. So I had to restart and try to play them all. But like you said, it is exciting to see that they keep adding content, even something that's a little bit older, just to keep it fresh and new and like make someone like me come back and want to check it out and make sure I finish the games and even try out the new content. So it is pretty cool. It's pretty dope.
For sure. Next up here, one that I'm actually excited for people who've never played this game, Monument Valley is officially coming to the PC. I think by the end of this year. And I honestly would rate it as one of the best mobile games I have ever played. It's like a puzzle game. The art style is very phenomenal. You're playing like as a mother daughter kind of thing, and you're just trying to solve puzzles and get to each part. I would definitely check it out if anybody hasn't. It's a really great game, and actually I bought it when they first came out, and I beat both of them. And I don't play mobile games. Roger Lunatic here knows that I don't play mobile games, but these are two games that I've actually
I don't
played.
either. So,
Hey, now it's on PC, so now definitely check it out.
Hey
Whenever.
man, listen, I was kind of like you with the mobile games. Like I got it, but recently I've been getting into it. I got 2K on mobile, I got Call of Duty mobile, and I played about an hour and a half of Call of Duty mobile today. I feel like I'm a mobile gamer now. I feel like kind of getting there. I'm starting to buy into the hype a little bit, just a little bit.
I can't do it. I think that's for the little kids.
A little bit maybe, you're right, but like when you're in that mode of game and you want to
Yeah.
spend time with the game, you can do a little bit of both. I found that kind of works for me. So it's kind of like my gaming addiction coming out, kind of.
Gotta play a game at all times here.
Right at all times, right.
Another shooter game here though, Escape from Tarkov is getting like its own standalone FPS called Arena. There's a closed testing coming to PC late this year actually, and but it like if you bought like the highest collector's edition of Escape from Tarkov, this will be included. But
Hmm.
if you've bought like the base version of it, you'll have to buy it as like an extra paid DLC per se. So it's kind of like your team deathmatch. It seems like, but like Escape from Tarkov. So it's going to be super realistic, super hardcore,
Hmm.
and whatnot. So I'm actually curious now to check it out because that's more around my what I like to do as opposed to the
Yep.
whole like battle royale. Got to go
yeah.
scavenge supplies, get my arsenal, and then I die and then I got to start all over again. Like that gets kind of old after a while now. I mean, how
Yes.
many years have we been playing battle royales? You you jump out the plane, you die. Jump out the plane, you die. And 4 hours
I
later, you may have won one game.
and see, I was always kind of drawn into Tarkov. I just never wanted to spend the money because I just wasn't sure
Same,
if I was gonna love it or
same.
really enjoy it. But that does sound pretty cool. I'm very interested because I'm starting to get into first-person realistic shooters. Like Call
Hmm.
of Duty starting to feel old to me. Battlefield, wasn't really good. So it's like, where do we go from here? And to see Tarkov trying something like that kind of draws me in because I want like a hardcore shooter for TDM and make it more
It
realistic and fun.
it feels like playing VR without the VR headset to me.
Right.
And that's the best. That's the next iteration I think in gaming before we get to full VR
Hmm.
is that more realistic, let's cut out some of the training wheels on video games and actually bring in some more mechanics, things you don't think about.
Right. Um, Next up here, a big game that I'm super super excited for is a Plaguetail Requiem. You can officially pre-order the game now, and you can with pre-ordering you get some bonuses. You get the red Dem set crossbow skin, additional crafting materials, and 13 exclusive cosmetic items for Amicia. Yeah, can't speak. But this is one of the games that me and Lunatic actually recently played and beat the first one, so we're really excited for the sequel to come out, and it's supposed to still come out later this year. So hopefully this is a game that does not get delayed like the rest of these games that keep getting delayed. I would love to have some games to play in the holiday time. But next up here we got Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. It is officially releasing on August 30th this year, and there's actually a like a standalone like separate game called Destroy All Humans Clone Carnage.
Oh,
It's a multiplayer game, and it's included if you pre-order Destroy All Humans 2. But if you just want to play this without getting Destroy All Humans 2, you can buy it separately for $12.99. So you can definitely go check it out. So this is a cult classic coming back, but some new content, some new fresh stuff that we've actually never played before with its new multiplayer mode. So that's cool.
yeah, sounds pretty cool. Sounds interesting. I know I have I played the first one. They remastered the first
Hmm.
Destroy All Humans, and like it was really fun. So to see them, trying to bring back some of the older ones, especially like for like the older games we kind of forgot about.
Yeah.
Some of the forgotten games where you're like, wow, that was really good, but kind of didn't grow into what you wanted to see into like a major market.
Or
So this
they
is one
only
of the
made
games.
one iteration.
Yeah, it's true, one or two, and kind of ended.
Next up here we got Temtem. Got its official release date for September 6th. It's like a Pokemon-like MMO, and this was a game that was first announced back in 2018. It was on Kickstarter, and just it blew up, man. It looks really good. It looks like it plays really well from the trailers that we get to see, and now that we're actually going to see the official release in a couple months here, in 3 months. Looks pretty awesome, especially obviously this could be some competition for Pokemon. Maybe this is what Pokemon needs to shake some things up and push the competition. Roger, are you excited for this
Just
one?
innovation. It looks good. I'm weary of it. It's a $42 game right now on Steam, so 41.99 plus tax. So, do I really want to invest that into an MMO? But the fact is, it doesn't look like it has a subscription model. So you pay $42 and that's it. But the game is also co-op. That's the cool part. So in Pokemon, you have 2v2 battles, but typically one trainer throws out two, and then you're fighting two people who throw out one. Well, now, why don't you play an MMO version of Pokemon that allows you and your friend to both throw out one Pokemon and fight? Well, that's what Temtem looks like it's doing.
Hmm.
And like in their trailer, they said, grab your friend and grab your favorite Temtem and go complete the story. So this sounds like it's, they're ready to actually, in 3 months here, when this releases in September 6th, this is the end of the original game's story. So, this is really where are we going to be in it? It's a fun, innovative take on what Pokemon can be or is already, but just a different flavor of it.
Hmm.
It's something I'd probably give a go.
Yeah, I'm definitely for it. And speaking of Pokemon, we got the official second trailer from Scarlet and Violet, and there's some things they kind of hinted at in the trailer, man. We might be seeing some four-player co-op, which we just alluded to with Temtem, and I'm just curious to see like, can you play through the whole story in co-op, or is it just like
Well,
certain missions or certain battles? Like, how is this going to play out in co-op?
it looked like you loaded into a game with your friends because we saw the four trainers come together with their Pokemon of their choosing that follows them around,
Hmm.
and they each went their own separate ways. And it looks like maybe this game is going to kind of be like um Dying Light 2. You can, you jump in by yourself or with your friends, and you can go anywhere, literally anywhere, and do anything you want. You don't have to be standing with your friend.
Right. And another thing that the community is kind of alluding to here is maybe the professors this times are the villains, and that would be a twist because we've never had that. All the villains were, or all the professors were always like your obviously your professor was like who taught you how to play
People.
the game. Hey, go complete your Pokédex for me. I need your help, kind of thing. And now they could be the villains. That would be definitely a big twist on this because it's always been like Team Rocket, Team Magma, whatever, Team this, Team that. Now it's the professor. Gives you
And
a
see,
Pokemon.
it's also little things like that that can draw casual players into it. Someone like me who might be teeter tottering, who doesn't play a lot of Pokemon games, but kind of
Hmm.
miss the older ones. to see that we can even team up, it kind of draws me in. The
Hmm.
multiplayer aspect, the co-op aspect to it is amazing. I think that's super cool. So yeah, I mean, to see something a little bit different, again, them stepping out of the realm, trying to see if we can do co-op before people and doing that, I think that kind of draws me in. And like you said, to have professors against you and not on your side, that also adds an element to it, kind of like nostalgic but reverse. So
Hmm.
it sounds pretty interesting to me too. I think I'm gonna have to check that one out, especially if it's co-op.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Pokemon has been doing a lot to innovate. I was a big Sword and Shield hater for a while there, and I just bought it for my wife in excitement maybe for Scarlet and Violet, and finally just like I'll bite the bullet and play it and Arceus. And honestly, I memed on it pretty hard, but the game had solid innovation on the series. It felt good, like the Wild Zone felt fun. So I'm excited for something like this. And the legendaries are a meme. But Vic, why don't you tell us about the legendaries?
I mean, the legendaries, man, they're just mopeds, right? That's what our
Yeah,
our friend Jeff said. Jeff Slugs.
one is
He's like, one's like
yeah,
a
one
moped, and the other
is
one is like a, I don't know.
a tiny airship. One's on jet engines and the other's on a fucking it has a moped wheel in its chest.
Right. Apparently, they're inspired by the MotoGP. So obviously, being like this, the Scarlet and Violet's supposed to like their world is supposed to be based off of like think France. So it all makes sense.
No, it's not
Or
France.
or
It
Italy.
is Spain.
Yeah,
Spain.
yeah. So that, it definitely makes sense. But one cool thing that did stand out to me in the trailers was the new design of the Pokemon centers. Like it's no longer you walk into a building like it goes cut to black and then you're in there, and like it's the same kind of layout. Like this is like an open design. Like there's no doors. It just has like a big canopy like roof over it, and you just pull up. Give them your Pokemon heal, and then you go. And it looks like the shops are in there too. So it's like an all-in-one Poke Center, Pokemart. So I thought that was pretty cool. Something different. Moving on here though, we got Madden 23. They officially revealed that John Madden, rest in peace, will be on the cover for the first time since 2000. And I thought this was awesome, man. Obviously, he passed away after Madden 22 came out, and then it's time to put him back on the cover to honor him. So that's pretty cool. And then, but they did announce like in a trailer the new field sense and how like everything is going to be controllable and more accurate and just more precise. And this might be the year that I might check out playing Madden again. Hopefully it's a good game, but my hopes are not high. What's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on this, JD?
I always dabble in Madden like every year the game comes out. Whenever it becomes free, like on the EA Pass, I'll go check it out really quick and play a couple different game modes. I love that they have John Madden on the cover. Well deserving. Obviously, he built this entire Madden franchise. Obviously, that's his name. So to see them honor him in this way is really dope. But I hope they do something with Madden. I feel like if they give you too much control, it'll be too technical and less fun. So that
Mm-hmm.
might hurt. It really just depends on who you are. I feel like Madden just needs two different types of modes where you can switch it
Right.
to like simple or complex. And however you play is however you play and go play. Because you're gonna hurt some type of fan if you make it too technical or too gameplay or too fun, too cartoony,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want to call it. Too simulation like can also hurt. So they can go a bunch of different ways. Again, I don't play enough to critique it, but
Mm-hmm.
they go too technical, it might hurt. I don't know how that's gonna work out, but I'm glad that they have John Madden on the cover. He's well deserving of that.
Right. Roger, is this the year you play Madden?
No.
No.
And if it's free and you wanted to play and asked me to play, sure, maybe I'd give it a go.
We'll have to
We
wait a
play
few
we used to
months.
play back in middle school,
Mm-hmm.
and it was an okay game. I kept running the same plays all the time because I don't really know anything. I don't really go sports ball.
Hey, you sound like a professional. They run the same play because the game it's glitched. Like the play just works every single time.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. This next couple topics that we're about to cover excited me this week. Honestly, we have Lord of the Rings Gollum got its official release date for September 1st of this year, and it's coming to Series S, Xbox One, S and X, PS4 and PS5 and PC. And I think this is going to be a different take on a Lord of the Rings game. I played Shadow of Mordor, and that was really fun. And the play as Gollum, which is the obviously the creepy little, I don't even know what he is. My precious,
Creature.
like
Yeah.
yeah, like everybody knows who he is, and it's going to be like a stealth kind of game. You're gonna have to navigate the world without like being caught and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see how this game's gonna play out. And obviously, we don't got too many games coming out this holiday that this might be a big one here. What's your thoughts on this, Roger?
First of all, I'm pretty sure Gollum is a hobbit,
A
so
hobbit, whatever he is.
Yeah, yeah.
just wanted to make sure we didn't lose our fans here.
Some Lord of the Ring fans.
Yeah, no, it's like Shadows of Mordor was fun, but it wasn't like the end all be all Lord of the Rings game for me
Mm,
because typically the Lord of the Rings games, for the most part, aren't 100% accurate to the material. But this game looks cool because it's a different take on Lord of the Rings. It's going to be sort of like an Assassin's Creed style gameplay. You're not crazy powerful. You have to use tricks and tools to actually survive because Gollum can't win a fight one on one with anyone, like anywhere.
right,
He's pretty scrawny, so like you're gonna have to trick and use deception to win.
right. Another big announcement: Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which we kind of touched on the last time because it was a leak or a rumor, and it's the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. And the trailer, man, whew, that was a beautiful trailer, and I'm really excited for this one. If you haven't played Jedi Fallen Order, go play it. It is on Game Pass via EA Play, so definitely check that out. It could have won Game of the Year in 2019, but we all know that 2019 was insane for games. So definitely check that out. And there's at the end of the trailer, it had you head like scratching your head, like who the fuck is that? I have no idea who that is, and I need to know. That it just makes you want to play the game. But some more Star Wars news. Obviously, we touched on KOTOR 2 coming to Switch on June 8th, but it is also coming out with unfinished, unreleased DLC that is now officially being released and finished, obviously, and it's coming for free. So it's pretty cool to see some content to come to a very, very old game. And it just adds to the. I hope, hopefully, that KOTOR becomes canon because right now it's not canon, so it's not part of the actual Star Wars universe. Like it's make it believe, I guess. It's Legends
Mhm.
material, but I hope one day that KOTOR does become canon, so we can actually really enjoy this. Did you guys play KOTOR 1 or 2 back in the
Mhm.
day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it. This is my first time even hearing about it,
Oh
honestly. So.
no.
He's oh no.
Nine.
Again, man, you know me. I've been
Yeah.
very straight and steady most of my life, man. Like outside of the younger days, but like when like 360 came out, even like PS2, so I really became competitive and just been locked on like sports
Yeah.
only, and I was so
Yeah, it
like
was when we
one
did
track
that.
mind.
When we did that top three RPGs article
Mm,
last week, it was my honorable mention that didn't make my list. It was tough to not include that game because it
mm,
could be arguably one of the greatest RPGs of all time. So,
mm.
so it's just if you missed it, it sucks. But the remake of it's
Well,
coming out on the PS5 next year, so you'll have a chance to
and
replay it.
Just check
and
it
the
out,
thing to
right?
think about here is KOTOR is actually made by Obsidian, and Obsidian's one of the best,
Yeah.
hands down, one of the best RPG designers ever. They made Fallout New Vegas. They're very diversified because they've made
Grounded.
Pathfinder games, they've made South Park games, they made Fallout games. Like they've done it all. And don't forget Outer Worlds.
Yep, and,
Yep.
and grounded. That
Grounded.
interesting game that came out of nowhere. But
Hmm.
okay, JD, on to your realm here. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It got its official release date, October 28th, 2022. Shout out, it's my birthday, and I'm excited because I get to take off that weekend, not just for my birthday, but to enjoy some Call of Duty again. We do get to see the campaign reveal on June 9th, and actually at the Summer Games Fest, Jeff Keighley said that there will be a demo being played, so you'll get to see a level from the campaign played on live during the show. So I'm really excited because Modern Warfare 2019 was a lot of fun. From the gunfight to the introduction of Warzone to the regular multiplayer, the story mode was insane and felt super
Mhm,
realistic, and
mhm.
just it had me going. So I'm really excited to see where Modern Warfare 2 goes, and obviously with Warzone 2 coming out as well. So I know you're excited for this one, but you said that you might not play the multiplayer.
Yeah, I'm very teeter-tottering on it because I completely agree with you on on the Modern Warfare take. The last really good Call of Duty that I enjoyed was Modern Warfare. Um, I think that this has potential to be really, really good. I'm going to try it. I'm always that person that teeter totters with Call of Duty a little bit because I'm kind of tired of Call of Duty. Just being the same meta, and every time like the first week is amazing and everything's new, and then the second week you find all the little exploits and it starts to get a little annoying. So again, if I had to take a choice to kind of piggyback on before, Escape for Tarkov
Hmm.
TDM mode has me more interested than Modern Warfare 2 would. Just
Well,
because I understand something very different.
Right.
I just want Call of Duty to kind of switch it back to normal. That's why I kind of like Call of Duty Mobile. It feels like Call of Duty. It feels like
Right.
what I came up off of.
Right.
So I'm looking for more realism. So I'm hoping
Well,
Modern Warfare 2 does bring that. And if it
it
does,
will.
I might try it. Yeah.
The rumor is it's supposed to include a escape from Tarkov type of mode in Modern Warfare 2, so you might get what you want
Yeah,
this
that's what I'm
year.
saying. Just more realism and just again a little bit different. Less, more gameplay, more team play. Less, I can do this by myself. I'm a solo
Hmm.
player and get 50 kills, and I can win this by myself. I want to see some teamwork, some more, comms being used, and we have to use our brain a little bit, not
Yeah.
just shoot a gun and run and gun. It gets kind of boring.
Right. I just want some better kill streaks. Like I feel like we haven't had any good kill streaks in so long. We're
It's something different.
like all the ones that we've been getting like Cold War and Vanguard trash to me. Like the last time I could really enjoy some like kill streaks was probably like Modern Warfare 3, maybe Call of Duty Ghost like back in the day. Like I say it all the time. I don't think we've had a good Call of Duty probably since Ghost or before Ghost. And that was
And
on
I
the
agree.
360 days. Every game that
Yeah,
came out on Xbox One and the PS3 to me, or the PS4 was not that good. None of them
mhm,
were, because they were all the jetpacking ones, and I just didn't have time to learn that. That was not Call of Duty to me. That was
mhm.
Halo and Titanfall had a baby, and here we are, kind of
Right.
gameplay. But Roger, I know we talked about it pre-stream that you actually might give Modern Warfare 2 a try.
Nice.
Oh, dude, I want to get back into Call of Duty some days because I'm like, I want something where I can turn off my brain because that's what Call of Duty is to me. Call of Duty is one of those games you turn off your brain and you get 30 kills.
Yeah.
You think about it, you get 6. You know, like just I want a game where I can run around, yell at my game with my console, get up, and be like, "Whoa,
I got
what
all
was
my
I
anger
angry
out.
about? Nothing. I feel great. I
Yeah.
feel relieved, happy, whatever. Because like I finished Valorant after 24 rounds. You go into overtime, you lose, and then you're just like, fuck everything. Call of
done.
Duty, you're like, oh, I lost 3 matches, won 4. Who cares? Whatever, you know.
I had 50
Yeah,
kills.
actually,
Yeah, right.
the games are quick. You know, I play 3 games in the time it took me to play 1 Valorant game.
Right. Yeah, I could definitely agree, and I miss being like sweaty in Call of Duty. Like back in the day when we played, like Roger, I think you were part of our 103 or 132 game win streak that we were on in Modern Warfare 2 or 3. I forget which one it was, and man, that was just so much fun to like go to school, get off of school, go right home, get on the game. You're on until like 2, 3 in the morning, just playing the game all day long. I have never had a game where I couldn't put the controller down, and I literally didn't put the controller down during those times.
Mm.
But then those were times where you didn't have any responsibilities. You just go to school and come home. So there
But
wasn't.
Yeah.
and while that's true, I still feel like some of our games can recapture that. That's my
It
thing.
could.
Is like, can you know what I'm saying? Can you make me go into work the next morning, tired, and make me call off? I've called off for game. Like I
Right.
kind of want that excitement back, where it's just like, yes, it's here, and it's like I just don't get that anymore. I just
Yeah,
Not at all.
it just we haven't had that for a while.
Mhm.
Honestly, Call of Duty's been one of those games where I'm like, one game, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
This is not for me today. I'd rather play a better arena shooter. Call of Duty has given up the mantle, and then Battlefield came around, and we were like, yes, yes, yes.
Yep.
Here is the game we want, and
Garbage.
we flopped.
No. Yeah. No.
Right. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. And interesting enough, I was watching a video on Facebook a little bit ago, and they were just capturing what it felt like to go to a midnight release for Call of Duty
Yeah.
and Halo. And I was just like, I missed that. Like, I missed the excitement. Like, yo, bro, you trying to come to the midnight launch with me? Like, and then you wait out there
Yeah.
with fucking hundreds of people for the same game,
Yeah.
all talking about it, and then maybe even playing it early, like I did a couple of times, and playing
Yeah.
the little tournaments.
I
and won
remember when
those.
I won the tournament the one year. That was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta say, I'm not the best Call of Duty player, but I could keep up with you for
Yeah.
a lot of it.
Right.
And like, I won for once in a local tournament in our area, and I was like, wow, like
Yeah.
maybe I
feel
can
good.
play better.
I think
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
Modern Warfare 2, or it might have been
Yeah.
3. I forget which one it was, but they were only allowing like 2 people to play the game at one time on like a projector screen, and like we were just playing like Winter Stays On, and I was on the game for too long. Like the GameStop staff came over, like, all right, bro, you gotta give some
You
other
gotta
people a
leave.
chance.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, damn, come on, man, like, I'm enjoying this shit. And then like after
Yeah.
that, we started playing football in the parking lot, like just the memories.
Yeah.
I
The
have.
one-
Things like that. Yeah.
The one year they had a LAN party, I remember, and like, that was fun. Like they had like 6 consoles hooked up, so it was an actual like 12-person game, and it felt good. And like,
Yeah. I think that was
it-
Black Ops
you just
1, I
don't
think
get
it
that
was.
anymore.
Black Ops 1, I
Yeah.
think that's what that's the one that you won.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think it was the one where we were in the abandoned training range was the map. And like it felt good, you know? Where
yeah.
is that? We need to recapture that nostalgia at this point.
Right, right. And the map that you're thinking of is Firing Range. I definitely
Fire
remember
range,
that
yeah.
one.
Yep.
One of the best maps of all time, and they keep
Hmm.
trying to bring it back, but it just doesn't feel the same ever.
It's in mobile, and I tell you, man, I played it today, and again, it just feels like old school Call of Duty because
Call of Duty
mobile
Mobile
doesn't
does, yeah.
just. And of course, it's not as good looking, so it
No,
even
yeah.
feels like old school to me. It feels like I'm playing like the game again, and it just kind of
Right,
makes me feel happy. Makes me feel happy.
right. JD, you still good to go on? To
Yeah,
move on
yeah,
to
we can go on. Yeah, we can go on to the next one, then probably stop there because.
Okay, cool.
All right.
This is where Roger's going to lead us here because I don't really know too much about these games either. I know about two of them, I think, out of the like nine that are here. But Warhammer 40K had an event the other day, and they announced a ton of stuff, all new games, new content coming out. Roger, what is going on in the 40K world?
Okay, so strap in. We had the week of Warhammer last week. So Warhammer
I
got a
gotta get a beer for this.
huge amount of video games, tabletop, both for 40K and Sigmar. We had tons of stuff come out.
Cheers.
So first of all, let's talk about the games. Just the new games. So we have like 5 new games announced here. We've got add-ons to games that have been around for 4 to 5 years now. We've got it all. So we've got first Rogue Trader. Rogue Trader is a take on the original of Warhammer 40K. So Warhammer 40K, before it became a tabletop known as Warhammer 40K, it was called Rogue Trader. Rogue Trader was kind of like Star Wars. It was you role played a being, a race of some sort in a post-apocalyptic future where there is only war, and you were just like Han Solo going from planet to planet doing some slummy shit, whatever. And that was it. So like you could play ogre or like the orcs alongside of humans, alongside of aliens, fighting space bugs. It had it all. We're getting that era of tabletop now back as a video game, but in the traditional RPG style. So that means you're able to play all these things that we just don't deal with anymore, in a game. And it's going to be made similar to Divinity or Pathfinder games. That's really awesome. And it's gonna encapsulate the original feeling of the 80s tabletop.
Right.
Next, we've got
hold on.
Bolt Gun.
Interesting
Yeah,
enough,
go ahead.
it's being developed by Owlcat Games, which is the studio
Yep.
behind the good Pathfinder games too. So that makes sense.
Yes,
Sense
sir.
to see. So
Yeah.
if you pair up a
Yeah,
good
no.
IP with a good developer, I think you could get something good here.
The craziest thing, dude, the nuttiest thing we don't remember, or, like we don't realize is Warhammer has gone from like doing bad game design by like Warhammer originally gave Blizzard the license to make a Warhammer game, a Warhammer 40 video game, and then they pulled the license and Blizzard said, fuck you, we're going to release the game and we're just going to call everything, we're going to change the names of everything. So that's how we actually got StarCraft.
Interesting.
Why is it called StarCraft? It was Warhammer, Warcraft, it was Warcraft in space. So we were calling it StarCraft. And it was actually a Warhammer 40 video game that lost the licensing because Warhammer was like, I don't think video games are going to be anything special. Everyone's going to, video games are going to come and go. And they were like, okay, your loss.
All right. The more you know.
And then Warhammer now is like, wow, video games are actually here to stay. Let's choose developers who actually make the type of game we want to make. So every one of these games we're getting now are made by developers who are already making these kind of games, making them well. So we've got Rogue Trader being made by the people who made the Pathfinder games. These games are really well done games.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we've got Bolt Gun. Bolt Gun is a Doom clone, but in the Warhammer world. It looks like Doom. It looks like the
old
original
Doom, yeah.
Doom. It's pixelated. It is that crappy graphics. It is nutty looking. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks pretty crazy too, like pretty hectic, where you're just running around
Yeah.
like nonstop. Like,
You
can't
just
stop.
chainsaw sword and bolt gun. You're like, bah, 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 bah. They're ripping dudes in half. It's cool. Dude.
Yeah,
it
looks like-
looks like Doom.
And it's coming to PC and consoles next year, so
Mhm.
that'll be pretty cool to see.
Next, we got a behind the scenes for Space Marine 2,
I'm
a
excited.
game that the community is so excited for. If you have never played Space Marine, the game, it was excellent. It was one of those games where, you're a Space Marine and the orcs attack. So you go through the trenches on a planet as orcs are coming from the fucking outer space, landing on your planet, ripping through dudes with their giant fucking axes and guns, and you're like just running up to them with a giant chainsaw, ripping them in half. Oh, it is gory. It is like Halo. It is like Halo had a baby with Doom,
Like
and
Gears
it
of
was
War,
just
kind
it
of like.
felt so good.
Yeah, very gory. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the trailer. It looks like Gears of War a little bit to me, kind of like
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
armor.
it is that level gore. It is, when everyone talks about Warhammer 40K, the thing you have to remember is the opening line of every book
Mm.
is Warhammer. It's based in a world, in the future, there is only war. That's all. So, like, everything about the game is just violence, blood, and gore.
And
It's just,
interesting enough,
what more could you ask for?
and this one I've kind of forgot it's being developed by Saber Interactive, which is a really big developer, which is owned by Embracer Group. They just recently came out with the Evil Dead, the game, World War Z. They did like NBA Playgrounds from back in the day. Like they got a lot of great games, and there's definitely a ton more. But it's pretty cool to see that they're continuing here with Space Marine 2. I never played the first one, but when we seen the reveal of this, I was like, oh shit! Like it got me excited. That when
Yeah.
we watched the review for it, the reveal, I was like, oh shit! Like I'm definitely excited for this one.
And honestly, Space Marine, the original game, holds pretty good. And like, if you went back and played it, you'd be like, the graphics are a little clunky, but the gameplay is there. It felt like if you were a Warhammer fan, it felt true. And if you weren't, you were just having fun ripping through people.
Yeah, I might have to check it out.
Next, we've got a card game. So Warpforge is a card game in the Warhammer 40K universe. Everyone's doing a card game now, and so are they. So it's just it's interesting, but it's been around for a while now. But the game is getting an official release of next year.
Yeah, it looks like it's coming to PC and mobile, so it's not gonna
Hmm.
come to console, which is kind of expected with like the card games
Yeah,
as
it's
of
a
recently.
card game.
Yeah.
Next, we've got the official release date for Dark Tide, and we got
Sir.
details about the gameplay. Dark Tide comes out September 13th. It is going to be, it's a Vermintide 2 style game. It's that dying, it's a Left 4 Dead style gameplay. You start and you work your way through a level, but now instead of like Vermintide where you have to choose a character, or Left 4 Dead where you have to choose a character, you make your own character. You design the way they look, who they
Hmm.
are, what class they are, and you can build who you want to be in the game. And so that's pretty cool to me. It's the ability to build your own character in Warhammer, but like Warhammer is violence, so now you got to watch your character get eviscerated in front of you.
Right, and this is a game that I know we were both excited for when they first announced it because it is also coming to Game Pass day one, and this is going to be a great game that we get to check out in a couple months here.
Yeah, definitely. And the fact that it's day one is it just goes to show how awesome Game Pass is doing right now.
And I didn't realize that it's being developed by Fat Shark, who also created the Vermintide and Vermintide 2,
Yeah,
Escape Dead Island, War of Vikings, War of the Roses, a bunch of older games here. But that's pretty cool. They definitely
but
got a good
yeah,
developer.
why wouldn't you hire the dude who did, the guys who did Vermintide to do the next game that is literally a Vermintide clone in 40K? It looks really good.
Makes sense.
Next up, we've got Total War Warhammer 3 is getting the biggest update yet. So Warhammer Total War has had three different maps, one for each of the iterations of the game, and each focusing on a different part of the world of old Hammer, the old Warhammer world. They're bringing all three maps, slapping them together into one giant mega massive game.
Hmm.
You can play any faction that has existed as long as it supports it. And it just, if you have the game, you get the content. So if you had Total War Warhammer 1, you get the content. If you had Total War Warhammer 2, you get the content. and then Total War Warhammer 3 will be that new ground for all that content to come together, almost
Hmm.
like a game as a service.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Looks like it's coming to open beta in Q3 of 2022. So right around the corner, honestly. That could hit the August September timeline as
Around that
well.
time, man.
Hmm. And then we've got another game coming out. We have Chaos Gate Demon Hunters. This is a game that was actually teased a few weeks ago, but we got some more content on it. This is an XCOM clone. We've had one recently, which was the Warhammer Mechanicus game, where you were playing essentially AdMech invading a Necron homeworld. Now you're playing as the Grey Knights fighting off the chaos and the demons in XCOM style gameplay.
Hmm.
So it looks really good, looks smooth. The last one did well, so let's hope this one does well as well.
Right. There's no release date on that yet, so that's probably in
That is
early
correct.
development currently.
And then next we've got Shoota's Blood and Teeth. This is a game where you play as an orc in a Contra style shooter. So, like, don't get me wrong, Warhammer has every type of game. You play a video game, there is a Warhammer game for you.
Hmm.
This is now your side-scrolling shoot 'em up game. It's just violence, gore on a side scroller. It's going to be actually released on October 20th, so
Yeah.
that's right around the corner.
And it's coming to
And
like
then
all consoles and PC, PS4, PS5,
mhm.
Xbox
Yeah, it looks
One,
pretty
Series
cool
S and
too.
X, Switch, and PC. Yeah, looks
It
dope.
looks pretty cool
Yeah,
too.
it's just a simple side-scrolling shoot 'em up.
Yeah, I might have to check that out.
Next, you can't say that Warhammer ever forgets about their older games. Warhammer Vermintide is also getting an update. So the people making
Darktide,
Warhammer Darktide are also still updating
Vermintide
the
too. Yeah.
Age of Sigmar, Old Hammer, non 40K games. We're getting the Bellicor Chaos Waste expansion. So this is going to be a whole new story for an already existing game. They love their content. They want to make sure that these games actually continue to feel like this game is older. It's a few years old now, but it's still getting regular content updates. Just a few weeks ago, they put out a new class in the game. They're not giving up.
Yeah.
And if you're a sports fan, if you like sports games, Warhammer has a game for you. We've got Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl is a violent game. It's football on steroids. It's rugby met violence, guns and violence and murder. Blood Bowl 3 is getting a new beta and 2 new teams announced.
Mm. Yeah, it looks like the current beta is out now until June 12th on Steam right now.
Mhm. And then
I
it'll
can't
get
believe
another beta.
like I can't believe that was a Warhammer. I never knew that to the second. I've actually played Blood Bowl.
Yeah, Blood Bowl is actually a game from Warhammer
Yeah.
Games Workshop. And you play as just different fantasy factions in a giant violent arena of death
Yeah, that's dope.
while also trying to score goals, but that's like a secondary thing. Warhammer 40K Battle Sector, one of the best games I think recently. It's a turn-based strategy for Warhammer, very reminiscent of the actual tabletop. They're getting more content in that game. We're getting a new faction to play as and a new game mode called Demonic Incursion.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then last but not least, we've got the Warhammer Path of Exile Diablo clone game Inquisitor. There is now a Martyr upgrade, which gives you new graphics for the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. So
That's dope.
you're not being forgotten on any of these consoles. So like if you're playing a Warhammer game, expect there to be some sort of longevity in it. They care about their IP.
I can tell because this new update is also including all 25 DLC packs and expansions that are enhanced with features like 4K and higher resolution textures and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And actually support for the PS5 DualSense controller. So it'd be pretty cool to see how they incorporate that with the whole pulse triggers and the haptic feedback. Yeah.
Definitely. All right, Vic, why don't you tell us about PlayStation? So we had the event this week.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll get to the event here in just a second, but they did announce that the PS3 games part of PlayStation Plus won't support its DLC, and I'm just like, Like, I'm just really confused. Like when games come to Game Pass or whatever, they're like, yeah, it includes all the DLC for it. PlayStation's like, yeah, this game's really old and it had DLC for it. You can play the game, but DLC, nah, you're gonna have to
Nah.
buy it. We're like,
We're not.
what?
Yeah.
Like what, bro? Um, but some more bad news. Obviously, when they announced the restructuring of PlayStation Plus, there was like a code that you can type in and get. You can buy like yearly subscriptions of it at like a discounted price and keep
Oh,
stacking them. For multiple years, and like people who did that are actually getting screwed over now. They're like, "Oh no, we're taking all that back. Like you can't do that. We're not allowed to do that. We're going to convert it into like a quarter year, like a half year, or something like that." Or it's like something super ridiculous that is causing like a big uproar, and definitely it's more in like more so in other countries because they were taking advantage of it more than I guess Americans. But
Oh yeah.
that was pretty fucked up, and I was just like really surprised to see them just make another bad PR move.
yeah,
PlayStation
that's
man is
terrible.
just doing a lot of
Like
bad stuff.
they designed their systems poorly, and they're like, "Wait, you took advantage of our fucking mistake? Who
Exactly.
humans taking advantage of other people?
Who would do
Who does
that?
that?"
Come on, yeah.
Some more news here. The PSVR 2 did announce that they will be launching with over 20 titles, so that's pretty cool to see. We did actually get to see a couple of them in the PlayStation State of Play, which we'll cover here in a second. They did announce that there are other media like TV shows coming for Horizon, which is like the Forbidden West or Zero Dawn, God of War TV show, and a Gran Turismo TV show, which had me scratching my head. I don't know how
We
you
got
make a
MotoGP.
I don't know how you do that. Like, there's already like,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I'd watch if you're looking for a cartoon, watch Initial D. If you're looking for real life, watch MotoGP. If you're looking for something,
There's
it's
something
out
for you.
there. Why do
Yeah.
we need?
Like, you're gonna
Why do
tell a
we need
story about a
drama?
driver or something. You're gonna make it into a drama, racing his car, and
Maybe
maybe was set up or I don't know. There's gonna be something stupid.
from youth to GP racer. I don't know.
It'll be interesting. Big though, PlayStation Plus games were announced for June. You can actually start downloading them on the 7th. Comes out with God of War, Naruto, the two Baruto, Shinobi Striker,
Naruto to Boruto.
Baruto,
Yep.
and Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. And this is honestly one of the biggest like lineup for their free games of the month in a while, honestly. And for them to include God of War is a very smart move. With they're saying God of War Ragnarok is coming out this year. Now you're giving people a chance to play God of War that who may not have played it
Free.
a chance to play it for free.
Yep.
Even though it's part of the PlayStation Plus like extended catalog that you get to play for free, but that's exclusive to PS5 members. Now people who have PS4, which is a very big, large number of consumers, get to check this out for free if they didn't already play it. So that's pretty dope. But the other ones like Nickelodeon All Star Brawl, it makes sense. Like right now, the fighting games are all big and popular. That game's okay, just kind of missed the mark. Multiverses is going to blow it out of the water, um, which we know that. But on to the big news though for PlayStation this week. We did watch the State of Play. Who didn't join us the other day to watch it. This was one of their better showcases in a while. And actually putting
Oh yeah.
together this list, I was like, man, they actually did announce some bangers.
There was zero people talking about video games and instead just trailers. Like last year we had people like, "Hey, let's go over to the God of War Ragnarok team and talk to them for 25
Yeah,
minutes."
waste
And
my
I was
time.
like, "Why waste I just make it in a half an hour show and not give me this garbage."
And that's exactly what they did. They showcased Final Fantasy 16, Resident Evil 4 remake, Resident Evil Village is coming to the PSVR 2, Street Fighter 6, which is also coming to the Xbox for the first time in quite a while because Street Fighter 5 did not come to Xbox at all. Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is a PSVR 2 game. Horizon Forbidden West had a big update, adding tons of new content. The Callisto Protocol, which looks really fucking good. Stray, Marvel Spider-Man Remastered is coming to the PC along with the Miles Morales one as well. No Man's Sky is coming to PSVR 2, so again we're touching on No Man's Sky, just expanding and getting to more people. Season, A Letter to the Future, The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners Chapter 2, which is another PSVR 2 game, Internites, Roller Drone, and Tunic were all showcased at this conference, and those are all I think are going to be pretty good games. I mean, Final Fantasy 16 goes without saying. Resident Evil 4 just continues the huge success from Capcom remaking their games and just
Hmm.
having fun with it. And then obviously Resident Evil Village coming to PSVR 2. It's pretty dope. Like I couldn't imagine that playing that game in VR.
No.
I'd probably shit myself.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'll take a hard pass on that one.
But do
Dude, like, well, the last game was on VR and people were going nuts, dude. Like, I've seen people like sitting there and like something pops up in the window and they're just like screaming, and then other gamers it pops up in the window and they're just like, bang, bang, bang. You didn't scare me, you just died.
right, right. But do any of these games like stand out to you guys or have excitement for at all?
I mean, Resident Evil, and of course, like being a PC player, I finally get to play Spider-Man.
Hmm.
I've been holding off on getting a PlayStation just because I don't play again a lot of single
Yeah.
players. But Spider-Man is like literally one of the only single players I've ever wanted to play, and I just didn't want to spend $500 or 300, whatever,
Just
to
to
play
play
it.
that game.
That's it. So now that's coming to PC. Hey man, I am all for it. I've been waiting for this moment. I finally get to play Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and the original. So I'm excited for those
Yeah.
especially. God of War came out on PC as well. I know that's been out.
Hmm.
I haven't got a chance to play that, but I used to love God of War as well. So just seeing more PlayStation games come to PC is making me super excited because there's
Yeah.
definitely a couple games I wanted to try.
Yeah, we're gonna start seeing that more, and I'm curious to see if they start just releasing their games on the PC like a year or even 18 months after the initial release on PlayStation, just to get into more audiences. But Roger, what about you? Any of these other games stand out to you, or you're eager for?
For me, I really, really got excited for Final Fantasy 16 and RE4 remake
Hmm.
because like I beat RE 1, 2, and 3 now on the remakes. As an adult, I'm, more apt to play them because as a kid I wasn't allowed to, or I didn't have money, so I couldn't buy them myself, and I wasn't gonna go back and play them, 12, 15 years later. So for me, Final Fantasy 16 is cool. I liked 15, it wasn't like the best, but like I'm excited. Hopefully they learn their lesson
Hmm.
and 16 is awesome. A little disappointed we didn't see Final Fantasy 7 2, which
Right.
you and me talked about on the stream. Street Fighter 6. This looks cool. This
Yeah.
actually reminds me of the Mortal Kombat RPG, which was Mortal Kombat Deception.
Hmm.
It looked like you get to make your own Street Fighter character and fight through a story, and you see these Street Fighter characters have now aged. They're older. Ryu looks like a fucking old man, and he,
Hmm.
he still whip your ass, but like he's not young anymore, and it looks like a new generation of Street Fighters, and it looks cool. Like it
Hmm.
make me want to play Street Fighter.
Right. And I definitely agree. Street Fighter, I don't think I've played a Street Fighter probably since like back in the day.
Yeah, a
But
long time ago.
this looks really appealing because it has like an open world kind of setting. I guess during the story mode, like when you do create your own player, and it's going to be interesting to see how you just traverse that world and then get into fights and how that story progresses. So, um, excuse me, I'm really excited for that one. But another one, the Callisto Protocol. This looks dope. Like it's being made by the original creators of Dead Space, but it's just a different developer. They just created a new studio, so it's going to be very like horror like and just thriller. And it originally is supposed to be a PUBG spin-off that turned into its own game. So it's no
Mm.
longer tied to the PUBG universe, and it's just now its own horror, scary kind of game. So I'm really excited for that one, and it's awesome to see like Tunic come to the PS5 because that's a great game, and I'm glad that PlayStation gamers get to enjoy it. One that kind of surprised me that seemed a little weird was Internights. It was like a dating sim action game or whatever. I don't know. Like you seen in the
It's just a
trailer,
JRPG.
like
Hmm.
It's a
he
JRPG.
was like it was like press R2 repeatedly to hold her hand, and I'm like,
I mean, weebs will weeb. That's all I'm saying, dude.
but
It
honestly,
kind of reminds me of like a visual novel meets a action RPG, like a JRPG.
right, yeah. Um, and then Horizon Call of the Mountain looks pretty cool to be a VR game. It looks like I'm part of the regular game, the regular series, just in the VR, and it looks like it's done really well. But moving on from the world of PlayStation to the world of Xbox here. Interesting enough about Spider-Man JD here is it could have been an Xbox exclusive. Marvel came to Xbox and offered them, and they were just like, we don't think it's going to be that big of a game. and boy, were they wrong.
Very wrong.
Microsoft dropped the ball. It's
Yeah.
not the
Very
first
wrong.
time, or will it be the last?
No.
Definitely not.
And obviously
No.
that was during a rough time for Xbox and whatnot. So I'm glad that they were hopefully learned from their mistakes.
Right.
But some bit more updates here. Minecraft got an Angry Birds crossover content,
Hmm.
which seems pretty cool. You can basically play Angry Birds in Minecraft more or less, just from like the first
Different.
person perspective. I think it looked like. Microsoft Flight Sim got the World Update 9, and it includes like Italy. But along with that, you also got the new Top Gun Maverick DLC that just kept
Mhm.
getting delayed until the movie released, obviously. And it's just you get to fly some of the ships that were from the movie, including the ship that does not actually exist in real life. It's a ship they created for the movie, and you get to fly it in the game. So that's pretty dope.
Pretty dope. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's different.
Next up, we got Sea of Thieves. They got their new update. Fate of Golden Sands is now going to be in the player's hands. So like whatever the community does with this event is going to change the game. Like whatever decision is made as a community is going to be the decision moving forward that leads into the next story content. So
That's
that's
pretty
pretty
dope.
dope.
Yeah, that's
Um,
dope.
the June update in regards to like the software, they're adding you the ability to reveal your secret achievements. So like when you're playing and you're trying to go after your achievements and you scroll through and you're like secret achievement, you're like, oh, which one is this? Like I don't know.
Right.
What do I have to do? I'm not going to replay the game and trying to do everything in the world, like do a 360 no scope through a wall, throwing a grenade at the same time. Like I don't know that I had to do that.
Right.
So it's like now you'll be able to click a button that'll reveal the text to show you, oh, you got to do this to get this
Ah,
achievement. So
makes sense.
now it's pretty cool for those achievement hunters.
Right.
Now onto their
Yeah.
June games with gold. Very lackluster compared to PlayStation Plus free games. You get Avon Colony from June 1st, the entire month of June. Project High Rise, the 16th of June to July 15th. Super Meat Boy, which is probably the best one on this list here. It's a classic game from the 360, from the
Yep.
1st to the 15th. And Rascals from the 15th of June to the 30th, another 360 game. None of these really interest me. I'm going to download them just so I can add them to my collection of free games because once you download them, they're yours. Like you get to keep them
Yeah.
regardless.
Mhm.
So for that, now in the Game Pass, Game Pass actually had a pretty big update this month. Arriving, we got For Honor Marching Fire Edition came to cloud, console, PC already, along with Ninja Gaiden, the Master Collection came to console and PC.
Mm.
Assassin's Creed Origins cloud, console, and PC comes out on the 7th, and that's also going to include its new update of 60 FPS and 4K for the first
Nice.
time. So that'll be pretty cool to experience that game. And then we got Chorus, which is like one of those like space games where you're flying a ship, like an RPG, but you're the ship more or less. You're flying in space, you're doing missions and whatnot. It's actually a game that looks really good, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to play it, but if it's coming to Game Pass, this might be my opportunity to check it out.
Yeah. Why not? Why
Come,
not?
comes out on June 7th as well. Then we got Disc Room coming to cloud, console, and PC on the 7th, and along with Space Lines from the Far Out, console and PC on June 7th. This is not it for June. They already said that they have some big announcements at the Xbox and Bethesda Showcase on this coming Sunday. So we're going to see what else is going to be coming to Game Pass this month. But
Hey,
what's
they're killing it, so they
yeah
gotta keep going.
yeah they got to, especially with the loss of their big games like Starfield, Redfall, Replaced, and Stalker 2 all being delayed. They got to come out with some big hitters now from the third party. But what's leaving on June 15th from Game Pass is Darkest Dungeon, D&D Dark Alliance, which is a game Roger, me and you started and never got to finish yet. So I'm just like, damn, it's leaving. We didn't even get to finish it.
It was okay. It wasn't very good.
Yeah, it wasn't. Greedfall, which I'm surprised is leaving because I feel like it just got to Game Pass not too long ago. Limbo is leaving, which is kind of I was alluding to it earlier when I said Inside. Inside and Limbo is like those dark side-scrolling
Mhm.
games. They're pretty cool.
Classic.
And
Classic.
Worms Rumble is also leaving on the 15th. So if you haven't checked those out, go check them out before they leave. Got 10 days. You can also buy them at a discounted price before they leave. Now on to the rumors and teases. Take us off, Roger.
Alrighty. So, Little Nightmares Studio, rumor has it that they're going to have a new game coming out soon. Whether it's in the same IP or a new IP, we'll have yet to see. God of War Ragnarok has been rated in Korea. What that means is the game is probably near the end of its development life cycle, meaning we are going to get a release date, potentially. Sly Cooper, we may be getting a reboot of the franchise here.
Yes.
We had the director of what game was it, Vic? I can't remember the director of what game had
Mhm.
actually dropped it by mistake in an interview. It was either
Oh, yeah,
director
yeah,
or
I
voice
forget.
actor.
Yeah, I forget who it
Huh?
was. I forget who
Yeah.
it was.
But during an interview, they accidentally let it drop that there was something about Sly Cooper, and the community's like, "What?" So, PS5, we may be getting a Sly Cooper game, just like we got Ratchet and Clank. Returnal and Sackboy may be coming to PC soon due to a leak. We
Yeah, there
saw a
was.
leak out
Yeah,
here that may or may not be putting these on our
yeah.
computer as well as the console.
There were some like screenshots of the game running with the PC controls and stuff like that. So we could see that soon. And Returnal is a great game that I haven't checked out yet, and
Yeah,
might be an
and if it's
opportunity.
on PC, why buy it when I can just get it on PC and play it? Well, I guess
You go.
console, if you really want to be able to play it with the haptic feedback controller and things like that, then you could.
Hmm.
Next, we've got Sony has hinted that the PS4 will be end of life in 2025. A
Hmm.
little limped on for a little too long, in my opinion, but
Yes.
who knows? Maybe they'll stop making games before that and then discontinue the store at that date.
Right.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
PS5 Pro and the new Xbox Series controllers
Consoles.
may be the Xbox Series console may be launching in 2023 according to TCL claims.
Yeah, that was a like a investor convention that they were talking about, and they were saying
Hmm.
that like the companies have in works new consoles that they should be releasing at this time frame, and I don't know if it's time for a new console yet. I mean, it's still hard enough to get the consoles as it is, and we haven't
Well,
even transitioned.
it may just be a bigger storage or something like that. It just
Right.
like we've had with the Xbox One.
But the
You
thing is, they
had
don't even
the
have to do that anymore because you can buy hard drives and stuff that put
yeah,
them in internal hard drives,
you
not external.
can, but there may also be like memory upgrades or just
Yeah,
refinement or changes in the console itself to make it better.
yeah.
Next, we've got Xbox Design Lab website may be turned off,
No, it
leaving
was.
clues to
It was.
something new coming. But
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, the website went down and they left a message that hey, we'll be back hopefully soon, and they kind of left a little message hinting that there's going to be some additions. So if people don't know, Xbox Design Lab is where it's a website on Xbox where you go and you can customize your controller, what color it is, the joysticks, the D-pad, the buttons, all the whole 9 yards. You can engrave it. But now people are wondering like, what's this new thing that they're adding? Are you going to be able to customize, say, Elite controllers, or am I going to be able to customize my consoles? Because we keep seeing the announcements of hey, you can win this new Xbox Series S, this new customized one, Sonic and all those other ones that they made. Why don't they give the people the ability to
I
customize their own one and buy it?
Right. I follow the guy who does that. Pope Art.
Yeah, Pope Art,
That's
he's dope.
yeah, yeah. So I think he kind of helps with that. So I think that they're seeing like how popular that has become on social media.
Hmm.
He's gone
It's an
viral a
expression
couple
of
times.
yourself.
Right, it's super cool. Imagine if you can add the as far as our business goes, the SOW logo. As far as your
Hmm.
podcast goes, imagine building your podcast onto like your logos onto like your Xbox and making it yours. It'd be super cool.
Right,
So to add some type of customization would be like amazing. I would just be curious about the cost point, like
yeah,
like how much do they
Yeah.
charge for that? That's always the downfall. But I think it'd be pretty cool if you can do a whole entire system or
right.
anything. You said e-controllers or things of amongst that nature. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, because we just talked about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier controller being 180.
Hmm.
I mean, the Elite controller alone is about $200, and they came out the Halo edition of it. So like, obviously they are making other iterations of it, but customizable ones they can be quite costly, and they're not
Yeah.
really that great quality wise. I know a bunch of people who have broken them over and over, and I'm just like,
Hmm.
that's why I haven't bought one yet. I've actually never broken an Xbox controller ever, knock on wood, and I just hope to never do that.
Same.
Especially an
I've
Elite
only ever
controller.
broke third party. Like me, I've only ever actually broken a third party controller, and it's usually the joystick that has issues.
Right, right. But what else is going on in the world of teases and rumors?
Last thing we got here is supposedly Cyberpunk 2077 may be announcing a new trailer soon here, maybe their new DLC expansion. 7 main missions being added to the story, and it could rewrite the ending to the game. Being, with this new story mission, a whole new path in which your character can follow could lead to whole new dialogue options in the end. There's also hints at side content and potentially 2 new locations that are already on the map,
Hmm.
just nothing there.
Right. Yeah, so I'm eager to see, and I also heard rumors that you may play as another character. Not necessarily you wouldn't play as V this time. You would play as like some female lead character, and that would be different to see it from like the whole cyberpunk world from a different perspective. But Let's move on though to our last part of the episode, the game shows predictions. We got two events that we're going to be covering. The one is going to be this Thursday, which is the Summer Games Fest, which is probably going to be the biggest one of the summer. Followed up by the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase on Sunday. But Roger, what are your predictions here for the Summer Games Fest? What are we going to see?
So first of all, we need to see some more content from some of these games. Like we haven't seen Ragnarok. It's supposed to come out this year. We haven't seen Bayonetta. It's supposed to come out this year. Where's Metroid 3? We still have no content for Metroid 3. There are so many games that are in limbo and have been in limbo. Where are we with them? Everything's getting delayed. Are these getting delayed too? They say they aren't, but we're already we're in the 6th month. We're almost over the hump of 2022 already.
Right.
Where are these games? So I'm hoping we're going to see more content, more VR maybe. Microsoft may hopefully bridge into maybe some more VR content here, or maybe we'll get more information on what the 20 games Sony is going to be releasing for their VR.
Right. Yeah, interesting enough, just to give everybody a rundown, they did announce all the developers who are going to be in the showcase. 2K, Activision, Atlas, Bandai Namco, Bloober Team, Capcom, Coffee Stain, Deep Silver, Devolver Digital, Digital Extremes, Otemu, EA, Epic Games, Focus Entertainment, Frost Giant, Humble Games, Level Infinite, Mediatonic, MiHoYo, Netflix, PlayStation, Raw Fury, Samsung Gaming Hub, Sega, Square Enix, Skybound Games, Steam, Studio MDHR, TR Festival or TR Becca Festival, WB Games, and Xbox. There's a lot of developers there, man. So
There's a lot. For me, I'm looking forward. I kind of want to see if they announce something about Silent Hill or something. They've been like very private about that. It seems like leaks pop up here and there, and that's about it. Overwatch 2. I'm not sure if you said Blizzard. You said a lot, but I'm not sure if you
yeah,
said Blizzard. But even like Overwatch 2, I'm curious to hear anything about them because they even did their beta recently. That was pretty cool.
Same. I'm excited to
And
hear about
even
that.
Cuphead. I've heard they might be making a new Cuphead or something like that.
It's a
Um,
DLC.
yeah, okay, DLC, yeah. So even like that type of DLC would be pretty cool to see. I like Cuphead. Very difficult game and very entertaining at the same time. I love the character design, so to see where they take that even farther, I want to see that too as well.
Well, and we did actually get the trailer for DLC. It's Delicious Last Course.
comes
It's
out
the
the end of this
Cuphead
month.
DLC. Uh, I don't know when it's dropping, but be able to see a date for that because I
Mhm.
think they may
It
have
comes
said
out.
just summer.
No, it comes out June 30th. I think
Okay.
is what
There
it
you go.
is.
Okay, so we did. I wasn't sure if we got it because I thought last time we saw it, the last course was supposed to be summer of this year.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's June 30th.
Yep, they announced it. Um, but yeah, some other expectations. I wouldn't be surprised if we seen like Resident Evil Village DLC, especially with like all the Resident Evil hype. I think it might be time to add some DLC content to that.
I
Um,
don't think we need it for Resident Evil. Typically, they don't jump too much into the DLC world, so I'm thinking maybe expanding upon the game because hopefully PlayStation's not the only one getting the VR version of this game. That's what I hope to hear. I hope to hear that
it's
the
coming to
PC
Meta.
will
Yeah,
get a a VR version of it.
right.
Hmm.
Maybe an update on what's going on with Monster Hunter Rise. Obviously, they have their new expansion coming out, so maybe we'll see like a release trailer for that. I really don't even know what to expect at this year's Summer's Games Fest. I think Ragnarok is going to be really, really important to see because obviously it wasn't at State of Play, and people want to know like, hey, is this game like legit coming out? Like you keep telling us it's coming out, but when? What's it look like? How's it play? So I'm just curious to see how that plays out. Obviously, I did say we will see Modern Warfare 2 there, so that'll be pretty awesome to see how that game is gonna turn up for sure. Xbox might come out and drop some bombs. Like maybe they announced their new like streaming device, like thing that would plug into your TV there, because
Yes.
they're known to announce hardware at this event as well. So it'd be pretty cool to see that. I've also
Yeah.
heard rumors that Avowed might be announced here, that it's coming out this year. So it'd be pretty cool to see that. Um, just really
What
curious.
about what about Dragon Quest 12? Like
Yeah.
all we got was just flames on the ground and we were like, "Oh, not even a trailer," but we were like the community was up in roar. Where are we with this? Like you guys just like dirty teased us and left.
Yeah. I can't believe that. There's so many games that's been announced that we just
Yeah.
have no idea at all, and we just gotta see some more
Hold on.
news. Yeah, like I'm tired of holding on. I'm tired of the new announcements without
Yep.
like actually seeing anything,
Yep.
and it's
Mhm.
just like Jeff Keighley does really well with his shows. That is just you never know what you're going to see at his shows. Never ever going to know. And it's just like he brings in the big time money. Like there's a lot of more views on his show than anything else. And companies like even Xbox rather showcase their big stuff at this event and then not even show it at their own event. So it'll
Mhm.
be
Mhm.
pretty interesting to see this.
And I think, there are a lot of cool games out there that we still are looking for, like the Valheim looking game. I can't remember what it is, but you're going through like essentially just fairy tale worlds. We've
Nightingale.
got,
I think it was Nightingale.
yeah, Nightingale, yeah.
Hmm.
And there's just so much out there, especially like this is also going to include a lot of Eastern RPG, Eastern developers. So where are we with that? BioShock, isn't there supposed to be a new BioShock coming?
Yeah, yeah. It's already in
So
development. That's been announced, but we
yeah,
it'd be
it's
nice
been
to see it.
announced, but
Yeah.
are we going to see
See
something?
Right.
something.
Are we going to see a trailer? Are we going to see something? Like it would
Yeah,
be awesome. And
the
then like
title.
right. Interesting to see like Netflix and like Samsung there. Like I'm curious to see like because I know we talked about Samsung or Netflix wants to release 50 games by the end of the year or something like
Mhm.
that, and I'm just like curious to see like what are those games? Are they going to be like
Solitaire,
Are
Solitaire 2, Solitaire the remastered
Right.
collection.
Right.
But JD, you were alluding to like Silent Hill. Bloober Team, who made the Medium, which is the horror game that was on Xbox that later came to
Mhm.
PlayStation, is rumored to be making a Silent Hill 2 remake with the original developer of Silent Hill, um, Konami, I think it is, are making like a new Silent Hill game. So that'll
See,
be interesting.
I think that yeah, that's very dope and very different. I actually played Medium, so I actually kind of enjoyed it a little bit. Again, I'm not a big single player fan, but I did touch it, and I definitely did play it a good amount, and I kind of enjoyed the story. It was very different. So to hear
Hmm.
that, it's kind of exciting for sure. Yeah.
And with
Yeah,
Warner Brothers games there, I think we're going to see some more Suicide Squad there, and maybe even like another gameplay highlight trailer for the other two characters of Gotham Knights, because
That's what I was
yeah.
we've seen two characters so far, and I would love to see the
Honestly,
other
the
two.
Gotham Knights trailer so far has been a little clunky too. It wasn't like full 60 frames. It skipped a little
Hmm.
bit. I'm excited to hopefully see a more fluid trailer, like actual gameplay. And not to mention the fact that maybe we'll get something for Elden Ring. Maybe we'll get a
That'd
new
be dope.
trailer announced because if you watch the Summer Game Fest, they had a on their Twitter, they posted a video, a preview video. It had Gotham Knights in it, it had Elden Ring in it, it had Divinity in it or Destiny in it. It had a bunch of these games. Hopefully, we'll see more, more content for some games that already exist too.
Yeah.
Some
I
of the
mean,
award winners from this year.
and even you can add on Batman to that. I thought the Batman games were really really good. Maybe you can even try to throw something in there and try to revive that because I think speaking about Spider-Man, possibly was available to Xbox and Microsoft at one time. I feel like they got a chance to kind of revitalize Batman. They're doing a lot of different things with Warner Brothers as far as like Gotham Knights and things like
Hmm.
that. Maybe you can even try to revitalize that and see how that goes. 'Cause I remember the Batman games being very very good.
Hmm.
The Arkham series was really dope. So maybe even like a surprise like that would be pretty cool. Try to, combating Spider-Man on the opposite side on Sony.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if we seen like the Batman Arkham's the trilogy remastered because those
Hmm.
games are really really good and they're held
Yeah.
to high standards, and we're all about remastering games now, and I think remastering it and then maybe teasing like, hey, we got a new Batman game, but it's not
Right.
coming out
Like
for like 5 years. It's coming out in
checking the
2025.
temperature a little bit, see if
Yeah,
there's still something there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That kind of makes sense.
so that'll definitely be interesting. With Mihoyo there, I think that's how you say his name. I'm terrible with names, but he's usually with Genshin Impact, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see something along the lines of that. Maybe some new content for that. But with 2K being there, I don't know what they could showcase. Maybe some big expansion for Tiny Tina's, or maybe they
Yeah.
come out with another surprise announcement. Because Tiny Tina's came out of nowhere. I was like, oh shit, like, oh.
I mean, 2K could be doing football. I know
Hmm.
EA is no longer just football exclusives anymore. So
You
I
talking
mean,
about
they could be
like
coming out
soccer,
with
football?
No, no, I'm talking about actual football because
Mm.
EA, they're actually other developers are allowed to make simulation football games.
No, okay.
So if
EA lost
and
all
they
of it.
can include, yeah. So I'm saying 2K used to have some of the football games back in the day. Maybe they can try to, include something like that. I would like to see 2K kind of step out the realm. They did NBA Playgrounds. I would like to see like an NFL Street type of
I
thing. I
want
think
an
2K
NBA
can pull
Street to
that
come
off.
back.
Yeah, NBA Street. It doesn't have to be like with real people, but you can kind of have fun with that. I mean, with 2K they can do real people obviously, but I'm talking strictly football. You can
Hmm.
make it. Like NFL Blitz would be pretty cool to bring back. So maybe
That would
2K
be
could do
tough.
something like that. Something like that would be pretty cool.
And I think this is where we see Final Fantasy VII Part Two announced.
Yeah.
I think this is finally
Hopefully.
Yeah.
where we announce it. This is what everyone's looking at. This
And
is
it'll be another 2 fucking years till it comes out. We're gonna be
Yeah.
like blue balled the fucking shit out of us.
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm really excited for this upcoming Summer Games Fest. But let's talk about our predictions for Microsoft because I know a lot about Xbox, but Roger, what are your predictions for the Xbox and Bethesda showcase?
We're gonna see more Starfield first and foremost.
We have
They're gonna be like, sorry we blue balled you and said this year and now it's next year. But hey, we'll give you some more content, at least make you feel better about it, more gameplay, most
to.
likely.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, like they almost have to show Starfield here, and they almost have to show Redfall here because they've been delayed till the first half of 2023, which is before the next Xbox showcase. So like we haven't seen any gameplay from either of these games, and they're going to come out before any other showcase next. So like they have to show something here. They have to. And the thing is like they have Xbox has so many games that they have announced, but we have not seen anything. No gameplay, no new trailers, no nothing. Like I'm gonna run off this list real quick of announced games. You have Starfield, Redfall, Contraband, Outer Worlds 2, Avowed, Grounded 1.0, Forza Motorsport, Perfect Dark, Fable, Elder Scrolls 6, Hellblade 2, State of Decay 3, and obviously we got Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo coming to Xbox over the next year. And then there's rumors that a Gears of War remastered collection is coming. Minecraft Dungeons 2, Fallout 5 or New Vegas 2, and then Wolfenstein 3 or even a Quake reboot are rumored. Like they have a lot going for them. They have a lot more games that are announced than PlayStation. But let's see these games. When are they coming? Because we have nothing for the next half of the year. For 2022, it's naked. And obviously I heard there's rumors with Avowed coming in early or late 2022. Now it's being bumped up. So hopefully that game just doesn't get rushed. But JD, what are
And
some predictions from you?
To be honest, man, I'm not really sure. As we've been saying, it's always like up in the air nowadays because we really just don't know what to expect from developers anymore. There's always surprises around every single corner. I mean, as we've been saying, anything is better than nothing at this point. We've been
Yeah,
kind of led to just kind of
I'm
trot
I'm
along and
waiting to
keep on
see
going.
Fable, honestly.
Yeah,
That
Fable's a
I
great
didn't
pick.
even think about that just
Yeah,
till a second ago.
yeah,
Like,
and guess they're being made by Playground Games, who just made Forza Horizon 5. Like we know they can make a phenomenal game, a very
game.
beautiful game, but can they make an RPG game? Is what I'm worried about because they've only really made racing games. So it's like let's see what you can do. Don't rush it, but we need to see something because they only did
mhm.
that teaser trailer. It spanned through the whole like world, and then at the end they were like, "It's Fable, guys." We're like, "Oh, Fable," and that's it.
Yeah,
That's the
right,
only
right,
thing we've
right.
seen from it.
Mm.
So there's so many games that they just showcase that they have to show gameplay. They have to. But I think what we're also going to see is like I said, the announcements for coming to Game Pass. That's going to be big.
Agreed. Well,
But any
I
more
think
predictions?
that's probably it right here. Like for now, I think we're just gonna get gameplay trailers
Right.
finally and release dates. That's what we're looking for. I don't think we're gonna get any new things. We're just gonna get solidified answers.
Yeah, it's important. This is going to be a big year for that.
Alrighty. Well, I think we should close out for this week's episode. How about you?
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely a long, great episode. We covered a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate you guys for having me on. I really do. It was definitely good. A lot of good conversation. And I'm looking forward to, and this is why I like coming on a show because I get to open my mind a little bit. I'm looking forward to some of these games you guys have mentioned, and even though some of the things I just learned was pretty cool. So I appreciate you guys for having me on. Thank you.
That's good, man. Yeah, we definitely appreciate you when you can come on and whatnot. And if anybody else that wants to come on the show, let me know. We can definitely get you on. We can arrange a time and whatnot. And But definitely want to thank everyone who did check us out live and later on YouTube. But we will definitely want to give everyone a reminder that join us this Thursday at 2 o'clock. We'll be streaming live coverage of the Summer Games Fest, which we kind of just gave our predictions on. We'll start about 15 minutes prior, to, about 1:45. We'll just get our last minute thoughts on the show, and then we'll kick it off at 2. Obviously, there's not going to be a co-op stream on this coming Sunday due to us live streaming the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase. So come join us there. That starts at 1 o'clock, followed by the PC Gaming Show, which is right after, about 3:30. I think that's when that kicks off. But JD, where can we find you at?
Anywhere, man. On Instagram, Twitter. I'm on Twitter a lot. At Twitter is JD underscore 717, JAYDEE underscore 717. On Instagram, it is JD Gaming underscore. So those are like the two places I spend a lot of time at, mostly Twitter. Instagram is just mostly clips. So if you want to interact with me, yeah, you can find me at Twitter, JAYDEE underscore 717.
Cool. It's right below his image right now, just in case. And Roger, how about you? Where can we find you at?
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/lunatic underscore oblivion. You can find me on Twitter at lunatic oblivion without the space or an underscore.
There you go. And of course, everyone, you can check me out at Twitter at Mr. Never Chillin underscore. Xbox is X Never Space Chillin. If you want to game, party up, hit me up there. Facebook is Vic Brubacher. Questions, concerns, want to come on the show, hit me up on there. And of course, I'm streaming at twitch.tv/ Mr. Never Chillin. That's for like any single player games that I am up to streaming for sure. But we definitely want to thank everyone again. But until next time, peace.
Everybody have a good night.